Live from Hong Kong Robocon 2019, it's the Grindbin. I'm Mike Wood.
I'm Casey Kasem.
I'm Chris Mann.
And I'm Bobby Trippett.
Guys, we have had a hell of a month here going all around. Probably everybody listening is like, what the hell is Mann doing back here?
Yeah, man, you look well rested.
I am glowing. I mean, oh man.
Man, tell us, the last time we saw you was in Jakarta. You went to a 24-hour rub and tug. We never saw you again. And all of a sudden we're here. We're all here in Hong Kong.
That's right. It's feeling good. The weather's nice. I'm feeling good. And let's get it on.
So, you don't want to elaborate on what happened? We haven't seen you in over 3 weeks.
Well, it was all consensual, as we all know.
I think that tells us enough.
Huh.
I've never seen you look so rested, though.
That's right.
You must have gotten real deep.
You're all smiles, like everything's going
a little
great.
kick in my step everywhere I go.
You know, it's been a real rough month, but Crown really did us right this time, guys. We're here in Hong Kong.
I can't believe it. I thought we'd wake up drugged somewhere, but we're on the airplane. We were enjoying first-class accommodation.
First class!
And we
Jesus.
ran into fucking Mann on the plane.
No.
And we go, because we see, hey, Robocon, Hong Kong Robocon's going on this week. We go in here. Guys, everybody here is like a Grindbin fan. We're meeting fans all over the place. We just ran into the Hong Kong PD boys from Robotrics.
Right.
We are huge in Hong Kong.
Oh, man.
The theme this year was biggest of the biggest, so we scored.
You could say the Grindbin is the biggest of the biggest.
That's right.
Here, yeah, and our boys over at the Hong Kong PD, we're slapping fives, we're slapping everything. They're great guys. We haven't seen Yip yet. We've been looking around for her.
I think that's our mission for the rest of the day.
Can't fire that.
We've gotten little teases. We think she might be here.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
I'm ready to present her with a crystal bra.
Oh, you know what? Look at that. You guys hear that sound? For once this month, I'm not upset to hear that phone ringing. He really treated us. Yeah.
Man,
Woo.
let me go ahead and get that then. Hello?
You have a recording from inmate number 54789. Hello? Will you accept?
What?
Yes.
Sure.
I guess yeah.
Well, if we're not paying.
Hello? What the fuck?
Mr. C!
Hey, Mr. Crown, what's going on?
Shut up. Where are you?
We're at Hong Kong Robocon, where you sent us.
Well, did you get the money that I sent you?
Money?
Yeah, I wired money to your account. You have your...
Okay, let me load it up. What's going on here?
Yeah, it's me and Deezen. Stop. We're in prison for 1 week and this guy starts humping my leg.
Wait, you're in prison?
Prison?
Mr. C, you're calling us from prison.
Oh, my God.
And I'm the one who went to a rub and tug.
Yes, I'm in prison. I'm in prison with Deezen. We had this whole elaborate scheme where Deezen was going to pop out of a cake and everything went wrong. And let's just say a lady got thrown out of a window and landed on a taxi.
Oh, my God.
Oh, man. A lot like Robotrics, huh?
Jesus.
It all went wrong. Deezen got too excited. He threw it. We don't need to go into the details, but anyways, we're locked up in a Hong Kong prison right now. Mike, I wired you money for bail. Can you please look in your account and see if you...
I do have it. I have, holy shit, Bobby.
Mike, just out of curiosity, sidebar, is that enough money for 3 plane tickets?
Bobby, not only is it enough money for 3 plane tickets first class, it's enough to refill our coffers from our accounts that were drained. and more.
And more. You know, damnedest thing, Mike, I think our reception's kind of bad.
Yeah, I don't know if I can hear...
Hello?
Mr. C,
Hello?
what do you need from
Stop
us?
it. Stop. Oh,
Mike, hang up on him.
All right. I think we're set, guys.
Holy good.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to see these things. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I hope he enjoys his vacation in Hong Kong, as we are.
Mr. Crown is definitely, well, he's Hong gone.
I'm not even mad at it. I mean, I feel like this month had a happy ending after all.
I think so.
I mean, not just in the case of Chris Mann.
Yeah. Multiple for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, the happy endings just keep coming.
So, guys, why don't we
As
review
do
the
I.
movie we watched on the way over on First Class where they screened the Hong Kong Category 3 classic Riki-Oh.
Oh, my God.
Why don't I start this the traditional way? What do you guys say?
Yeah, let's do it though. Let's take it back old school.
One more time for Grindbin International. Hello and welcome to another episode of The Grindbin. I'm Mike
I'm
Wood.
Chris Mann.
And I'm Bobby Trippett.
And today we're talking about 1991's Riki-Oh, The Story of Ricky.
His kung fu is unorthodox.
Hey, Bobby, I got the money.
Dad, I made the tea! But you're a hooker.
Get that goddamn thing out of your mouth.
What is set knockers? I don't know. Spooky got no real rhythm.
We're gonna play a little game, baby.
I just love funny games. Get a little girl all hot and horny.
This is Los Angeles. How the hell
So, guys, we're here in Hong Kong Robocon 2019 looking for Yip, talking about Riki-Oh.
Man, I'm going to commission a robot.
Oh, man. And, guys, I don't know about
Have
you.
you tried the concession stand? I'm got some chips and a Yip Dip. They're really fucking good.
Yip Dip.
Yeah.
It's a Hong Kong classic.
Yeah.
Speaking of classics, though, man, Riki-Oh. I'm jacked like hell. I don't know about you guys, but
Oh, this is a longtime favorite of mine.
I couldn't even sit down.
I heard from Crown that this was actually a Patreon pick, that they picked this movie out of the lot for us to cover this week, and that's why we're in Hong Kong, which, thank you guys. Man, you really did us right, patrons. We are talking about Riki-Oh, which was directed and written by a man named, oh boy,
Here we go.
Guy Chow Lam.
Nail it.
As he goes by Simon Nam, he has 25 credits as a cinematographer, 13 as a director. His directing career started in 1981 and ended in 1992, so 1 year after this movie was made. And by the way, I don't know if he's alive or dead or whatever. They got one picture of him on IMDb, and
Oh,
that's
wow.
it.
That's
man.
it,
knows
huh?
what happened
High
to
school
him.
yearbook?
No, it's like him. Okay, he's got like a leather jacket, like to the side. He's got sunglasses
Oh,
on, and
yeah.
he's got like his
phone's in
elbow
it.
on like a loading
Jukebox?
dock.
Oh, it was right before he hopped on a boat and was never seen again.
Yeah, that's the last picture, I guess, alive of him.
Yeah.
And so this is his only writing credit, believe it or not, is for Riki-Oh. But here's some movies he directed. 1984, Three Stooges Go Undercover.
Hell yeah.
Now, it's not the Three Stooges, but it's like Hong Kong's version of the Three
Not
Stooges.
the Three Stooges, but rather Three Stooges.
Yeah, not just Three Stooges. And the poster, though, is fucking amazing. It's like some fat guy holding the skinny guy who's holding the girl, and they're all swinging on a building, and she's got like a bomb on her foot. It's fucking great, dude. Then, oh man, the pronunciation of this. He directed a movie in 1986 called Bai Gu Zhao. A dinner party at a Hong Kong high-rise goes awry when a party guest named Judy becomes victim of a poltergeist.
Whoa.
And as a result, her
Cool.
spirit returns to carry out the sinister plans of the evil presence. Security guards Chu and Fan later discover that their office high-rise is haunted by demons of the Japanese war dead from World War II.
Holy
I am
shit.
so into
awesome. All right.
Do you think it's like those war vets that, like, you know how they didn't know the war was over and they're still in the
Oh, still in the
forest?
brush.
You think like they're still in the high rise?
I like this. This is like Abbott and Costello in Poltergeist 3.
Yeah. And then the evil, they were good. They pitched that, but it didn't go over so well. The evil spirits, instead they did that thing where they were like we're going to go into the poltergeist world, and you know what? It's just a parking garage
Yeah, just swimming
with
pool.
a lot of snow
Yeah.
or something, ash or something around. It's like in Death Wish 4, like that's kind of where the poltergeist world goes to, is like,
It goes to Death Wish 4?
well, because in Death Wish 4, it starts out in that dream
Yeah,
sequence.
that's the whole death
Yeah.
opening.
It starts out with Bronson's wet dream, basically.
Yeah.
But I felt like if you pan over, you'd also see the poltergeist dude kind of hanging
Kane.
out in there. Yeah.
That's gotta be Kane.
The evil spirits plan to seek revenge by claiming the lives of humans frequenting the building that were born on a certain year and certain time. Man, that really limits, right? Just one guy, I guess. They took him. Must have been the birthday, and the time of day. Bong and Chow are on the victims list. They must have the same year and time they were born. Fearing
What
for their
odds?
lives, seek the help of a Taoist priestess to vanquish the ghosts.
I'm here
That's
for
the
it.
movie.
Weird.
Yeah. He also directed The Seventh Curse in 1986, a young heroic cop in the jungle of Thailand, because I guess they have cops in the jungle?
Jungle Cops.
Yeah, jungle cop. Man, save that.
Man.
Edit this out
Grindbin
right now.
Pictures.
We're pitching that shit.
Yeah.
Thailand.
So we can get a trip to Thailand.
Hell yeah. Jungle of
We're going to
Thailand.
lose Man for a month ago.
He didn't have to be in Thailand. Just jungle cop works.
Yeah.
Jungle of Thailand attempts to rescue a beautiful girl from being sacrificed to the worm tribe she belongs to. As a result, the cop is damned with 7 blood curses,
Cool.
which burst through his leg periodically.
Yeah.
His leg just bursts into blood.
Look at when you see who stars in this movie, you're gonna be like, "What the fuck?"
Edward James Olmos.
Yeah. When the 7th bursts, he will die.
Oh,
but,
no.
But Betsy, the beauty he saves, stops the curse with an antidote that lasts only 1 year. So on the advice of wisely Chow Yun Fat,
Hell
Oh
yeah.
my
he
God.
heads back to Thailand to find a permanent cure. So he comes back home and he's like, "Yo, Chow, got this leg thing, but it's only going to be for a year." He's like, "Dude, you should go back, try to find a permanent cure." He's like, "Yeah, it's a good idea." That's the whole movie, I guess.
I think I will. Thanks.
Yeah. Action ensues as the cop and cohorts battle the evil sorcerer of the Worm Tribe, a hideous, bloodthirsty, baby-like creature, and, quote, old ancestor, a skeleton with glowing blue eyes that transforms into a monster that is a
Whoa.
cross between Rodan and Alien.
Hell yeah.
Oh my God.
And
I only kept that last line in, Bobby, because I thought you'd be hard as hell
I am.
ready to get this movie. It's called The Seventh Curse, so go ahead,
Thank you.
track it down.
I'm about to have an 8th curse right now.
Then he also directed, guys, even though we might not be able to find her, she is in this movie. 1990s erotic ghost story starring Amy Yip.
Yep.
no.
3 vixens have meditated for 1,000 years to be able to shed their animal natures and become human. For the final month of their rigors, they have moved near a village where women pray to a god of fertility.
Oh.
One sister visits the god's temple and thinks lustful thoughts. As she leaves, a priest confronts her, warning of dire consequences and of demons that will try to stop the vixen's transformation. Soon the youngest sister saves a poor scholar from bandits and becomes enamored with him. Each sister visits him, and they all fuck him. After they invite him to stay with them, the playfulness takes a scary turn. Where can they turn for help?
Is it a way in?
I only read that because it ends in a question mark. And it stars Amy Yip.
Beautiful.
So, full of Yip teases, erotic ghost story.
So now Man's jacked like hell.
And rented.
Yep. He's already purchased it on Amazon. Didn't even rent it, Chris. Just full purchase. And the last movie he directed was 1992's The Cat. That's it.
That darn cat.
Yep. The cast. Oh boy, here we go.
You got
the man
this.
who plays Riki-Oh, Si Wong Fan.
Nailed it.
66 credits. He is still working.
Yeah, and by the way, I'd
Really?
seen a recent interview with him because I have I am blessed with a non-regional Blu-ray player. So
Oh, cool.
There's a 2015 Blu-ray of Riki-Oh.
Oh, awesome.
Gorgeous.
Cool.
I have an old region-free bootleg DVD of this.
Hell
movie.
yeah. But there's a recent interview with him, and my God, he looks younger now.
Good for him.
He being friends with Donnie Yen, seems to be afflicted with the same condition he has, where he is getting better with each passing year.
He was 18 when he was in this movie, apparently.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
He started his career in 1978, though. I love this movie that he was in
Age
1986. I have no description for it, right? But just Goodbye Mammy is the name of it.
Yeah, he played Al Jolson back in 1978.
Yep.
Ricky
Just
Al.
Get it out. 1986, Above the Law with Cynthia Rothrock.
Fuck.
Yeah.
We may have to cover that.
1993, Super Cop 2, which did not have Jackie Chan in it. It stars a lady
Huh.
as the Super Cop.
This time, it's a lady.
I think that's what it said on the poster. Yeah. Shaolin vs. Evil Dead in
I've heard of that one.
2004.
Heard that too, yeah.
There's multiple sequels to that, apparently. 2005, he was in Riki-Oh 2. Yes, they made a sequel of this movie.
Interestingly enough, in Riki-Oh 2, he's not playing Riki-Oh.
Yeah, he plays some other character.
It's
yeah.
a bizarre, like, non-sequel, in that they call it Riki-Oh 2, and they have the same lead actor, but the story is unrelated to the first movie.
Spiritual successor. Kind
Basically,
of thing.
yeah. Like,
Yeah.
just cashing in on the popularity of Riki-Oh.
He was in a movie in 2009, Kung Fu Chefs. Hell yeah, right?
We got to get that one.
If you ever want to see a great Kung Fu Chef movie, God of Cookery by Stephen Chow, the guy who made Kung Fu Hustle. Great
Oh,
movie.
yeah. And Shaolin Soccer.
Oh, yeah,
Which
I got
like
both
more
those.
than Kung
yeah.
Fu Hustle,
Yeah, they're
personally.
awesome. And then 2008, he was in Ip Man.
Friendship with Donnie Yen.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Donnie got him in his Ip Man movies.
Kira loves It Man, too.
Yeah,
The
there
Ip Man
are,
movies are amazing.
multiple Ip Man movies. Donnie Yen, man, really made waves in his American appearance. And what was that? He was in the Star Wars. Which one was that? That was Rogue One.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's fantastic in that.
it's a great movie,
And
yeah.
everybody saw him, and they're like, "Who's that guy?" And you're like, "Yeah, he's like a huge star, but you wouldn't know
Yeah.
from American movies."
Meanwhile, I've been like crazy into Donnie Yen since I saw Iron Monkey back in high school.
Oh, okay.
cool.
Yeah.
I was like, this dude should be a fucking star. I never understood why he didn't shine brighter. He had the look, he had the ability, and he had a stronger command of the English language than Jackie Chan or Jet Li.
I think it's kind of like Chow Yun-Fat because like he was huge in Hong Kong cinema for decades.
Yeah.
And like John Woo had him in all sorts of movies, right?
Oh yeah,
And then he came here, and people were like, "Man, where's this guy been? He's been around."
yeah. You're
You
the one
just
who's
have-
been sleeping.
Yeah, you never saw Hard Boiled or any of that stuff, man.
Killer?
He's been around.
Oh, Hardboiled is amazing.
And then here we go, Bobby, the man who plays. Now he was not called this in the dubbed version, but his name is Cyclops Dan.
That's in the subtitles. See, I should mention to you listeners that whether you watched it dubbed or with the subtitles, every character has a different name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
But
assistant warden.
he's the assistant warden of the prison.
It's like
His
your
name-
first day at work and you make up names for everybody.
Yeah. His name is. It sounds like my notes. Usually, what I
you're
call
like,
characters.
I'm gonna call him Cyclops Dan.
Yeah. So I think we should call him that because I call him assistant warden. In my
One-eyed
notes.
Charlotte.
I'm going with Cyclops Dan.
Yeah, we'll call him that.
So the assistant warden though, Mei Shen Fan and Bobby. We've heard that last name before, and why is that?
Well, because we're keeping it all in the family this episode, because the assistant warden Cyclops Dan is Riki-Oh's real life father.
That's right.
Yeah.
And what's amazing is you see their scenes together, knowing this, and you can see them almost breaking character in all their scenes together.
You think when they call Cuddy's like, but I really could kick my son's ass, just so you all know
Don't
I
even
could
worry
handle
about
him.
it. But yeah, you could see them almost laughing in all of their scenes together because it's just like, I'm doing this insane thing with my own father.
Now his father though, 104 credits.
Well played.
Dude is a prolific
Jesus.
Hong Kong actor, and of course I got some descriptions and movies that he was
Please.
in. In 1960s, he started his career in 1964. In 1967, he was in The One-Armed Swordsman, which I don't need to really read the description of, but it's kind of a popular Hong Kong movie. It's a more known movie on IMDb, that's for sure. Then he was in
Def Leppard, you hacks.
a good one Chris will like here. 1972, he was in Intimate Confessions of a Chinese Courtesan.
Oh.
Looking that up.
The Four Seasons brothel is run by a ruthless madam, Lady Chun Yi. Countless young girls have been kidnapped or brought and then sold into a life of servitude.
That's not cool.
Well, hold on, it's
Life
not
of
over.
servitude.
Prostitution and torture at this brothel, and knew an honest but poor family's only daughter is one of the newest girls that was recently kidnapped and sold to Lady Chun.
That was bumming me out.
To complicate matters even more, Lady Chun is a lesbian and quickly falls in love with the virginal girl who will not let her spirit be broken and tries to escape again and again. Guys, hold on. This causes Lady Chun
Win us back.
to use all of her resources to break her, including auctioning off the girl's virginity to a group of wealthy businessmen. She eventually entrusts Anu with a number of ancient kung fu secrets, like the ghost hands, which allows you to thrust your fists into an opponent's chest.
Whoa.
I was going to assume it's for something else.
Well, Chris, it was meant for something else, but then she found out, it had a double thing.
Oh, that's how they did in Jakarta.
Soon after, murder erupts.
You got the ghost fist?
I got the ghost fist. Yeah, no one was there as traffic, just FYI.
It's all above board.
Right.
Soon after murder erupts within the brothel, a diligent detective, Che T, discovers the brothel and becomes increasingly involved in the murder investigation. He realizes he must do everything he can to prevent Anu from taking her much-deserved revenge on everyone that has wronged her over the years. Whoa. So basically Hong Kong's version of, they call her One Eye.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, no,
They
she
call her
learned,
Ghost Hand.
It's a happy story. She learned ghost hands and fucking rips everybody's guts out.
All
That's
right.
great, man.
That's fine.
Good for you.
That sounds like the true sequel to Riki-Oh.
Do you think it's kind of like a
Yeah.
Death Wish thing where at one point the cop goes like, no, you go, girl? Because remember when that guy said
Yeah.
that to Bronson?
Just like, I'm going to let you keep doing this.
I think that's what the cop said to Bronson at the end of Death Wish. He goes, you go, girl. So he goes, oh, okay.
It's a little weird, but I'm going to go.
And then he was in 1979's Magnificent Butcher. Oh, boy, here's another name. Keku Ho,
Nailed it.
who plays the Warden, 102 credits. He recently passed away in 2015 at the age of 63.
Oh, man.
He started his career in 1983. He was on City on Fire in 1987, starring Chow Yun-Fat. Prison on Fire in 1987, starring Chow Yun-Fat. And School on Fire in 1988 with no Chow Yun-Fat.
None of
After
these
that-
films are related.
No.
After that, it was Dick on Fire.
I think that's another case, much like the De Muerte from
Yeah.
our Intrepidos Punks episode, where he'd get pitched a movie and go, and then they go, on fire.
Yeah, what if we put it on fire, Chow? What if we...
He's already signing the contract.
He's like jumping over the desk.
He's jacked like hell.
Okay, Chris, then he's in a movie in 1992 called Escape from Brothel.
Just escape from brothel.
Kind of like a Jakarta trip.
Oh, there was no need to escape from that one.
Hung's lover, Sam, doesn't know that Hung is actually a hooker. That's a weird one. So,
All right.
she's just coming home at night and, where you been all day? I'll tell you, work's been rough,
Doesn't realize Hung's a hooker and this house is a brothel. I just thought you had a lot of friends over.
I got to get out of here.
Oh, my God.
He gets involved with a jewelry store robbery and has to hide at Hung's house for a while. Hung tries to hide her profession from Sam. This is where truth starts unfolding.
God, this sounds like
Like
a Louis
laundry.
Defoe movie. Like,
Food
now he's
in a
involved
brothel,
bank
that'd be
robbery.
awesome.
I want that
Oh,
movie.
man.
You know it's playing that song the whole time, too. Da, 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 da. Guys, he also was in 1992's Erotic Ghost Story 3.
Oh, speaking of the ghost head.
Yeah.
Wow, because I'm like literally in the middle of like the first one right now.
Yeah. You thought we were kidding that he ordered it?
I got to get out of here. Then he was in 1992's Once Upon a China 2. Once Upon a Time in China 2 with Jet Li. So,
Nice.
who do you think the most famous Hong Kong actor must have been? Jackie Chan,
Yeah.
right?
Sure.
And then what do you think? Jet Li or Chow Yun-fat?
I'd put Jet Li after that.
Jet Li
Jet Li got
probably.
more mainstream in here in the States anyway.
But
I
yet
can't.
never made it to the U.S., you know? That's a weird one. Maybe, I don't think he
is
spoke
weird.
English,
Yeah.
so.
I
Could have
don't
been
know.
a star. You never
Could
saw
have been a
her again.
contender.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it was a
true.
real tease the whole career. So we get into the trivia. The first Hong Kong movie to receive a Category 3 rating for violence is Riki-Oh.
Cool.
And man, is it well-deserved.
It
Holy
goes
fuck.
for it. That's what this movie is famous for.
God, it's so awesome, though. The first time you see something like that, you're like, yes!
Well, let's ask,
Yes!
like, when was everyone's first time seeing this film? This is like, when was your first time, Mike?
In college, when somebody
That
gave
late.
me the bootleg.
Oh,
they're like, you gotta
the
check-
movie.
Oh, yeah. Jesus.
Yeah, for me, it was I think it was high school. The original run of The Daily Show
Oh, wow.
with Craig Kilborn as the host.
Yeah,
He'd
that's
do a
right.
segment called 5 Questions.
Mm.
And the graphic they would put on the TV for the 5 Questions round was one of the deaths from this movie that he would just play on a loop like an animated GIF. And I remember I was walking into a place called DVD Planet, which no longer exists. It was in Huntington Beach. And I walked by this old DVD for some movie called Riki-Oh that had this Liu Kang looking dude on the cover. And had a sticker saying, featuring the head scene from
Craig Kilborn?
from the Daily Show with
Oh,
Craig
cool.
Kilborn. I was like, well, I got to watch this then.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, for me, it's been, God,
Yeah.
15 years at
yeah.
least.
For me, it was fall 2001 at Comic Catastrophe. It was a
Jesus,
comic
he
book
knows
shop.
the goddamn date?
And
You don't forget when you first
No,
watched
no,
this.
you don't. It was like across the street from my high school, my alma mater, and the guys were there. I was really good friends with them, and they sold skateboards, but mostly comic books. They went out of business because I think they used all the money to put into a arcade they had in the back. But yeah, they had
Solid
a big
investment.
They had a big old TV and a couch you could watch movies on, and this was one of them. So after school, I just sat there and watched the whole thing.
You're like, what's this weird prison movie? And oh my God.
yeah, right. I was, holy shit.
I think this may be the goriest non-horror film I've ever seen.
Yeah.
It's also the best prison movie I've ever seen.
There's
yeah.
not
By
a
far.
minute of
Shawshank, fuck off. Am I right?
yeah, not a minute where you are bored watching
No,
this film
no, no.
at
Oh,
all.
no. It moves way too fast.
In the English dub, the prison gang leaders are called the Gang of Four, which we know them as. But in Cantonese, they're called the Four Heavenly Kings.
That's a way cooler name.
Yeah. The Gang of Four, though, was an actual group that existed in China in the 1960s and 70s. They're all real people. They were all convicted of anti-party activities and given life sentences.
Wow.
Yeah.
No shit.
Another thing to mention is that this is actually based on a manga series.
Couldn't have seen.
That has also been adapted into an anime that explains
Oh.
how over the top everything is. Interesting thing, though. The manga covers a much larger story than this. Like we spent a lot of time with Ricky outside of the prison. He's got like a robot duplicate of himself he interacts with. He's looking for his long
You're
lost
telling me
brother.
they could have had a fucking robot in this movie and
Oh,
they
yeah.
cut it out?
Oh yeah.
Don't
Bot.
say that to the Robocon crowd here. They're going to fucking be up in arms,
I
man.
believe there's like a character with psychic abilities or like telekinesis. It goes everywhere. But then when they adapted the film, they just picked one little part of the story and kept it there, probably for budgetary reasons.
I could assume that.
To
Yeah.
put this into perspective, it's like when Watchmen finally got adapted, but the entire movie is just Rorschach in prison. And we don't tell any of the rest of the
Right.
I
story.
thought you were going to say it's like Watchmen got adapted and Zack Snyder directed it.
Can you imagine?
Oh,
Yeah, it's
boy.
like the entire movie was just fucking on the airplane. No, it's kind of bizarre to find that out, though, that the story
Yeah.
that this is just,
Part of a larger world.
This is like 2 pages out of a manga that they made into
That's
a feature
so
film
crazy.
and said that's the adaptation of this. I picked up a bootleg of the anime. I haven't watched it yet, but I have. I believe that goes further into the tale.
Okay, I was going to say what the manga was called. Is it still just called The Story of Riki-Oh?
I think it's still called The Story of Ricky.
Okay.
Or Riki-Oh.
So you're telling me I missed out on a robot Ricky
Yeah.
and telekinesis powers?
Yeah.
God.
Damn it. Another thing to mention, too, is this is one of the cinematic inspirations for Mortal Kombat.
Yes.
It is very clear
The inspirations
as you
are
watch
clear
this
there.
that this is where they got Liu Kang.
Yeah.
He looks exactly like Liu Kang from the original video game. And about midway through this film, you get one of the fatalities from Mortal Kombat 2.
Right.
And we'll get to which one. But it's pretty fascinating to see this and go, oh, shit, this is exactly where they got it
Because everyone
from.
assumes Mortal Kombat gets it from like Bruce Lee or something. Which is like too on the nose, but it's clearly they were watching this movie.
Also worth noting, Mortal Kombat came out in '93, so did this movie.
Yeah.
Maybe like when
So it
you
was a
got to
recent movie they saw.
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat 3, where then like Liu Kang's making all those Bruce Lee sounds.
I gotta argue, though, by the time you get around to Mortal Kombat 3, he looks more like Barry Primo.
Yeah, that's true. Barry Primo with Bruce Lee sounds coming out of him. So.
What more in life? Optimal. I think that covers everything I know about it.
Yeah, I have a few pieces of trivia we'll save for the moments they happen in the
Awesome.
film,
Looking forward to that.
especially the end, which will reference again the manga and what happens after. So, guys, we get into the movie. There's a police bus. It's going through a checkpoint into a prison. Now, in either copy of the movie I've watched, there is nothing to tell you what the text on screen says. So I don't know what the fuck it's.
What are the charges?
Oh,
you know?
my Blu-ray has it.
Oh, great!
cool.
What does it say, Bobby?
That is now the year 2001.
Oh no, I have that.
We
part.
got that.
Oh, you mean when we get to the prison?
Yeah, like it shows all this text on screen, like really big on screen. I don't know if it's the title of the movie or some sort of exposition. I don't know what the fuck's going on.
It's opening credits.
Yeah, it's just like, okay. But yes, no, we get to the title card once the prisoners get out. And Bobby, set the stage for us. What does the world of Riki-Oh take place in?
Okay, we are in the dystopian future of 2001. Don't worry about it. We're not going to see anything but this prison, which is definitely a 1990s prison.
No.
But all government organizations are now privatized. That would never happen.
Yeah, uh-huh.
And prisons are like car parks, and they've become franchised businesses.
Okay, so just America.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're basically living in the Riki-Oh future.
Yeah, I did write that. I was like, hey, Riki-Oh, you got it right.
Nailed
you
it.
know? That's what we have here. They're all
Yeah.
private prisons.
The one thing I gotta say I really enjoy about this prison, though, is they got the bright blue bars on the main
Oh,
gate.
you know the classic prisons, right? It's
Yeah.
like the old cage
the
for
1980s
wrestling.
WWF cage. Like, this is awesome.
Yeah, what do they call it? The Blue Boy? Bring it back, right?
But yeah, so the prisoners are shuffling off the bus, and you know, the usual stuff. You know, all right, one at a time, step forward and state your name.
And we get Eddie Lee. He's getting 7 years for robbery and assault.
Yep.
We got John Luzan, 28, 5 years for stealing from his company. 5 years? Jesus.
white collar crime?
God, damn, dude. What did he do? It said stealing from his company. What, did he steal pens or some shit? Because as we learn, everybody in this prison's like too nice.
Bunch of nice people in a crooked prison.
Because they're all like, oh, Ricky, is he all right? And everybody's just like caring for each other. And you're like, oh, we're all friends here. Oh, except for these mean bosses. But everybody else is like having a good time. They're all nice. They're like, yeah, we're just all wrongly accused. They're all a bunch of fucking Linda Blairs from Chained Heat.
Everyone's crying about how they didn't do anything.
And like Sybil Danning's just not even in the movie. You know, it's just like if everybody was just a Linda Blair crying about being in prison for something they shouldn't have gone to prison for.
Yeah.
And then we got Riki-Oh, 21, 10 years for manslaughter and assault.
Interesting thing, though, to point out is that he's Riki-Ho.
Yeah, they call him Riki-Ho.
Yeah.
The movie's called Riki-Oh, O-H, and his name in the movie is Riki-Ho, H-O. You think somebody would have caught that?
That's just because the dubbing. Obviously, it's not in the Hong Kong version.
Surely not.
Yeah. Well, they gave it to the American actors. Like, what's his name? Riki-Ho? Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, we got this. By the way, this movie is, if you're going to watch it, listeners, watch it with the dubbing. The movie is famous for it having a just unbelievably bad dubbing.
Oh, yeah. Cause
It's like the stereotype kung fu movie.
Yeah.
It's a crazy-ass movie. The subtitles do not play that up enough. Because the dubbing is very off from what the subtitles are.
They decided to wing it. It's kind of like when we watched the Street Fighter and the late Chris Hughes watched it with the subtitles and got a very different story than what we were watching.
Yeah, it's all about like Chinese triad and everything. We're
Like,
what the
Yakuza.
fuck? So he walks away before Riki-Oh walks away before the guard says he can go, and he goes,
Man, that's big dick energy. And he starts walking out, and he walks by the metal detector, and it sets it off. They're like, he's carrying. And
they fucking rush his ass.
Oh yeah, and they got the nightsticks out, but Chris,
Yeah.
ain't no nightstick gonna hit Riki-Oh, is it? He blocks him with his forearms.
Not
and he's
worried
like,
about it.
And they put him down, and they're like, all right, we're gonna search him. And he does that thing where he like opens his shirt.
Yeah, and he's got abs for the whole 10 years of his prison sentence.
Yeah, holy shit.
Not for
dude.
days, not for weeks. He's got abs for years.
So they rush him over to some sort of bizarre like.
It's this wall-looking like cancer-giving machine that this TSA would give
Yeah.
you a left nut for.
The cancer giving machine.
It's how you shorten your sentence.
Yeah.
Put him in front of the cancer machine.
You want one tumor or two?
So they put him in front of it. It's an X-ray, and they go, "Hey, hold on. Why you got bullets in your body?"
Yeah, they found out he's got 5 in his torso, and they ask about it, and he just looks up and goes, "Souvenirs."
Oh, shit!
This motherfucker's Wolverine.
Now you said big dick energy.
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude.
They need a separate cell for this guy's dick.
Yeah.
So we get an overview of the prison. We get that there's 4 cell blocks, and each has its own leader or mini boss, and they're also known as the Gang of 4. And none of the prisoners are worthy enough to see the warden or assistant warden, which is total bullshit because within 10 minutes that will be fixed.
But for now, that's the rules. And if you have any concerns, you have to go to your block manager.
Yeah. Which have man, there's a lot like the bureaucracy in the
Yeah.
prison system is deep, dude.
It's like a union.
Because exactly. There's not only like the cell block manager, one of the Gang of 4. There's like multiple managers below them.
Each
and-
member of the Gang of 4 has like 2 people under them.
Yeah,
There's
and
a
then there's guys
supervisor.
under them. I mean, man, dude, working your way up to middle management in this prison is fucking years.
What a
dude.
nightmare. Fortunately, it helps pass the time.
I mean, at least when you go to prison, you can climb the corporate ladder. You know, like you still can. There's still upward mobility.
There's a lot of laundry to be washed.
That's true.
A lot of
and
books to be, stocked in the library.
But I just was like, oh, okay. So the warden and the assistant warden, those are going to be like the bosses of this video game, man. You're never going to get to see them, right? And then it's going to be unveiled. No. They walk all over.
Give it 5 minutes.
Not only do you see them, they walk all over the place. They're just walking down the aisles, everything. By the way, there's no locks on any doors in this prison. That we should get into this real quick. Is that because we're going to be talking about people just running around day or night?
It's less prison and more wacky hotel.
Yeah.
It's
Like a resort almost.
It's ridiculous. At one point, all the prisoners run out of their cells, and the assistant warden's like, "Hey, get them back in the cells."
What the hell are you doing?
It's just like, wait. And there's
Flicking
actually
the lights
one,
on and off. This is a prison.
There is one part where a guy's walking down the prison, and they open their own doors to go see what's going on. It's just
It's
like,
not unlike a lot of German prisons, actually. They give you like your own key to your cell, and it's up to you to be law-abiding.
Honor system?
Yeah, they literally do. and that
you be back by 8.
they do.
all right?
They say be
We're
back
watching,
by this
though.
point. This is your curfew. You have to be back and lock yourself back in, and that's their form of rehabilitation.
The reality is, though, you'll get shot if you're not back in time. So, look,
It's
it's
True,
the
but they
illusion
got
of
no
freedom.
guns, you know.
They don't have guns, so they're not gonna.
You'll
Well,
get
No, you-
clubbed.
You get slapped with the wiener schnitzel, and you get thrown back in the cell.
more than just slap with it, Mike.
Slapped with the wiener schnitzel. Why do you think I was late getting back to my cell?
So as also I write, this is the cleanest damn prison I've ever seen because these dudes are
Yeah.
washing their teeth, and it's like, I mean, they're brushing their teeth. This is like a fucking spotless, dude, and
Like,
it's like,
this shit looks nicer than my apartment.
dude, it's nicer than mine.
Furnished by Target.
Yeah. This looks like the bathroom from The Shining.
It does look like the inside of a Target that they all kind of live in.
Well, I know some people who work at Target, and they'll tell you it feels like a prison.
But this one has more windows.
But somehow this movie has less managers.
Yeah, every Target's got its mini boss, and then the aisle bosses.
Oh,
and,
God.
dude, don't cross one of the aisle bosses, by the way, at a
No.
Target, man. Holy
No,
shit.
sir.
No.
So here's where we first meet one of these 4. This guy's name is Sam, or Samuel. And his henchmen come in yawning and going like, "Oh, God, why do we have to get up so early?" I'm like, "You're in prison."
Yeah, oh yeah, they're complaining about that. But then there's an old man who's there brushing his teeth, right?
And they walk up and they take his towel.
And he just says something. He goes like, "Hey, you know that's my towel."
And uh-oh.
Oh shit, he's in it now.
And so they react very respectfully to the old man by throwing his ass against the wall.
Yeah. He bounces off the window and then hits his head on a faucet.
It's pretty rough, man. This guy pinballs around a little bit. And
that-
they go,
that's
"You're
his
going to
own
talk back
downfall.
to me over a towel?"
Yeah.
And then you know what falls out of his pocket is this toy train that he made, this little wood toy
That
train.
was in his
In his pocket.
Yeah, why is he carrying this around,
is it
dude? Leave it in the
collapsible?
cell. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
it's collapsible. And he's like, "Oh no," because the guy comes over, the boss comes over, Samuel. He picks it up. He's like, "What's this shit?" And he's like, "Oh, I made it for my kid. I'm gonna see him soon." And he's like, "Oh yeah, here you're getting probation. guess who controls probation in this cell block? Me.
And he
I'm like, wait,
punctuates that.
hold on a second. So once you're thrown into the Hong Kong prison, they're like, yeah, when you get out, it's up to the prison boss, dude. Not like the government or nothing. It's like the guy who runs. You got to work your way up the management ladder before you actually get out.
You got to ask for time off. You got to fill out some paperwork. But he puts the period at the end of that sentence by smashing this guy upside the head with the toy train.
Yes.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, there's this Greek chorus of other prisoners that are in there doing their morning stuff. They're like, well, looks like Samuel's at it again. Well, he is the captain of the cell block, people watching from home.
Oh, and you should say that they say that and then all turn to the urinal at the same time and unzip and piss together.
Because they're like, you know what? This ain't none of our business.
Right,
Yep. All
like-
for one and one for all.
Imagine like going on a cruise ship and you're like using the shitter and like the captain comes in right next to you, just starts fucking dropping trow and takes a shit right next to you. This is the same thing.
And so the old man, he's not going to take it. He gets up. He's lost it, right? I don't know what he grabs exactly, but like a...
No, it's a block plane, which is for all of you who've taken woodshop before. That's how he got the train so smooth.
Okay, so
Oh.
he pulls
So
this
he
out.
not only had a full toy train in his pants, but he has all the tools from the woodshop. They're like he didn't pull out a belt sander.
And he runs at Samuel. He goes, Samuel, you bastard! And as he runs towards him, he's tripped, and then he gets smashed in the face with his own tool.
When you say that, be careful.
It's kind of interesting, though, like the fluid motion that they snatch it from his hand and then whap him upside the face with it.
And then this guard comes. He goes, what are you guys doing in here?
And they go, the old man fell down again. And he goes, what a klutz.
Yeah, and he just has like a square thing on his face right where he landed. He's like, I don't see anything suspicious. And so then what in the fuck? Because this movie starts real fast, dudes. Like, all of a sudden, Samuel starts walking out.
And somebody trips him. And he falls face first onto a block with nails in
Yeah.
it.
Is
That
this
was
like-
just sitting there.
Is this just some like archaic mousetrap they came up with for the prison or what?
This
Right?
is
Like, what the
crazy.
fuck is happening? And what I also love and appreciate at all times is a sweet dummy drop.
Yes.
Oh, this
Because
is so...
this is a very low budget film, despite the big places we go. And so a dummy filled with corn syrup goes wham down on these nails.
And its eyeballs are squirting out blood and everything, but the next thing you see,
insane.
he's fine.
He gets up and he's got the nail block stuck in his face.
And he's like, oh, and they find out it was Riki-Oh, right? Like one of the goons grabs him and he's like, hey.
And Riki-Oh turns and gives him the crazy eyes, goes, you talking to me?
And the goon kind of backs off. He's like, oh, shit. And then I love this guy. I don't know if you guys wrote this down, but this is maybe my favorite scene in the whole movie. Now, it's not violent or anything, but it's the most confounding thing I've ever seen. We cut to some men playing basketball, okay? I don't know if you guys noticed how they were playing basketball, but they had a ball, and their version of basketball is not to get it in the hoop. They just throw it as hard as they can against the backboard, and it bounces like a handball.
You know,
I'm like, what the
well, a disregard for the rules is how they ended up in this prison.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
that's
right,
true.
yeah.
Is this some sort of future basketball? Where it's like, no,
Future
getting in the fucking hoops easy, man. You gotta bounce that shit. Because this guy takes his arm and just fucking chucks it at the backboard, and then another guy catches it and does the same thing. I'm like,
And they're
"No,
like,
that's
4
not-
points.
Yeah, that's not how it works. But
They don't know. They've been in prison a long time.
it's like nobody in Hong Kong ever played basketball. They're like, well, I don't know what to do with this fucking thing.
So we cut to the next morning in the prison, and Samuel is being tended to by his henchmen.
He's getting a rub down.
Yeah, they're really taking care of him. But he's, but even though they're taking good care of him, he like kicks one of them, and he just can't get over what happened with Ricky.
Well,
He's
yeah,
like, how
'cause
fucking dare this guy?
The bald guy actually delivers him his morning milk.
I love that.
I got your milk, boss.
nice glass of milk. Sure did, boss.
And you're right. He's all pissed off about Ricky. He's like, fuck that guy, man, right? Fucking asshole.
But there's a problem with the milk.
Oh, yeah. No, it's a little curdled.
A little
you know.
bit, yeah.
It
Well, it's
wasn't
that
warm
prison
enough.
milk.
You
It
can't
was,
get the
yeah.
freshest stuff
No.
here.
Would you milk this yourself?
And
Let me see that nipple.
And one of the henchmen goes, "Hey, boss, what if we get Zorro to take care of him?
Yeah, what if we get Zorro out of that cell?
He ate an entire horse the other day, and he's still in quarantine." Like, wait, hold on. What?
Well, Bobby, when we see him, I believe it, dude.
And so Sam thinks, say, that's a good idea. So we cut to him peeing next to one of the guards. Like you mentioned, man, it's just
Yeah.
like shared bathrooms.
Yeah.
The guards and the prisoners pee in the same toilets.
And from what I could see, like the cell block manager, the middle manager is actually more important than a guard because he tells this dude what to do, basically.
Well, they make a deal. And he goes, I have an idea. You can have my allowance for this month.
Allowance? Wait, what the fuck?
Well-
You get paid?
Well, the Gang of Four are getting paid.
Yeah,
for
that's
sure.
the weird thing.
The warden's, giving them, he's wetting their beaks for doing all the work. And he goes, I'll give you this month's allowance of mine if you let Zorro out tomorrow. And the guy goes, well, okay, but be careful because, he does bad things every time he's out.
Like,
It's kind of the idea.
It'll be all right, right?
Yeah.
And they let Zorro out, and oh my god.
He looks like King Hippo from Punch-Out.
Oh my god!
Okay,
yeah,
King
he
Hippo.
does.
I was gonna say E Honda from
Yep.
Street Fighter 2.
Definitely. He's morbidly obese.
He
just looks like
definitely-
a giant baby.
Definitely ate a horse.
Yeah. And he's currently chained to the wall, sitting on the ground, drooling on himself.
I think this is the largest man in Grindbin history.
It might be.
It might be.
I'm
well,
half expecting to see his asshole by the end of this movie.
And so the old man, we just get a shot of him with the guards.
And the old man's wrapped up like Darkman.
He does. He looks like Darkman, right? And he's like, hey, your probation's denied. He's like, what? No, I wanted to see my wife and kids. And they
like,
slap him
we
around.
found out you sent a letter behind our backs. He's like, no, I never did that. What are you talking about?
And then they just kind of slap him around a little bit more and kick him. And
Also, he's bleeding through his bandages.
Yeah.
Like whoever wrapped him up didn't do any first aid first.
they don't give a shit, man. They're
Right.
like, fuck this guy. So, yeah, they kick
It's
him.
just like it's cosmetic. They don't want to look at it.
Right.
They
Yeah.
just want to cover it up. Might as well put like a paper bag over his face at that point.
They should have given him the fedora and the trench coat. Let him just run around as Darkman.
Yeah.
So it's night now. One of the guards falls down the stairs because
These guards are the best.
he's like, whoa! And then he looks over and he sees that the old man is
There's
hung-
always
oh, boy.
my way.
Oh,
Yeah.
boy. Yeah.
Oh, the old man.
He hung himself off the railing, which apparently you don't lock the doors at night, so these prisoners can wander around. They give him the longest sheets they can find, apparently. And,
Do what you want, guys. We're all in here together.
and so they find, he hung himself. And you get these prisoners talking about, they're like, oh, man, it's so sad. He was in here because all he ever did was drive his wife to the hospital and kill someone with his car. And I'm like, well, hold on.
It's kind of a big deal.
That is kind of a big deal.
I know you're in a
Also,
hurry to go to the hospital. You can't just run people down on the sidewalk.
That's why Linda went to prison and
Oh,
chained
that's
heat.
right.
It's all, he was the
Oh.
Linda of this movie?
He is the Linda of this movie. You know,
All right,
If
chained
Chained
heat, but
Heat
it's
would-
an old man.
if Chain Heat was a short, or Linda maybe had another movie to do, this is how it would end. She would have just hung herself the first day.
God.
And so,
Farewell,
just like,
cruel world.
and nobody even looks.
And so now we go to Ricky, who's in his cell flexing.
Oh, well, they do say, though, the only reason he's in prison for that is because he killed a cop.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
If he'd run down just a normal person, just a
they-
civilian.
Yeah,
who
that's what
cares?
they were making it sound like. Is like, if it was a civilian, nobody cared.
But now he's a cop killer.
Yeah. So now he's in prison. Also, I guess you don't get life or really that long because he was going to be out. But then, yes, Bobby. So Riki-Oh,
He's just chilling in his cell and he's flexing.
he's doing like the Nick Cage Con Air. You know, like he's getting fucking ready, dude.
Yeah,
He's getting
you know he's
ripped.
doing like the handstand push-ups. And
Oh,
he's doing
hell
crunches.
yeah.
He's just always at the ready to go.
I think my favorite part of Con Air is when that prison riot. Like, there's a deleted scene if you have the DVD, the extended cut, where there's a prison riot going on, and all Nick Cage is doing is working out in his cell.
Yeah.
Like, dude, ain't none of my business
Man,
out there.
I love that movie more than I should.
It's a
It's a
great
good movie,
movie,
man.
It
It's
really
fair
is.
enough. Fair enough.
I rank it top of the heap for Nick Cage movies for me.
Oh, absolutely. To get shot in the arm and not even fucking no-sell that shit?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, come on.
I'll give you a little story here. I saw that with my father when it came out, opening weekend.
No.
We're fucking there, man. We went there opening weekend, and I went home and I drew every character from memory, labeled them and everything. I was a little kid. I was like a preteen.
And you're like, they'll call him Johnny 500 when he's done, right, Dad?
and I'm like, and Swamp Thing flew the plane, and Sally Don't Dance was the guy in the dress. Cyrus the Virus. It's amazing.
I'm sad they cut that scene out of the movie because just this whole thing, like, he's such a good guy that when there's a prison riot, even he doesn't partake, dude.
No, man.
Just working out, man.
He's so pure.
He's got to see his daughter, dude. He's just got to get back, give her that bunny.
He's chaotic good.
No.
And I think maybe my favorite part in that whole movie is when he gives her the rabbit at the very end, and she kind of looks at it like, this is it.
It's all dirty and
Yeah,
gross.
she's like, this is gross.
You don't know what it's been through. This rabbit killed a man.
Like, she doesn't even look happy to see her dad. She's
Why
like,
would you?
Oh, you're my dad?
She doesn't know him anyway.
Well, the rabbit was still serving life.
Yeah, some guy comes up and cuffs the rabbit.
You don't know what it's like on the inside, kid. So now we cut outside after establishing how much of a badass. I love this scene.
This is amazing.
Because the EMTs of the prison are transporting the old man's body in the rain on a stretcher,
Pouring
just walking
rain.
it across the yard. And Ricky just sort of walks up like, "What's happening, guys?"
Like he was like outside the prison for the night.
What's he doing?
And the prisoners at least react to that and go, "Wait, how are you out here?"
Yeah, Ricky,
Hold
what
on.
are you doing, man?
The fuck? And
They're
he
not
walks up-
mad either. They're just like, what are you doing?
We didn't see the deleted scene where the prison doors are like a CVS sliding door. You just walk in and out.
You
Or in
almost feel like
was
they're
it
gonna be like-
Airplane 2 where Shatner just goes, "Shh," and the
Yeah.
thing opens for him.
You almost feel like it's gonna be like, Ricky, what you doing out here? You catch a cold.
They give him a parka. But yeah, he walks up and
With
he
the keys
pulls,
to the prison
he
in
pulls
the
the
pocket.
sheet back and sees that they've handcuffed the corpse. And he goes, "He's already dead. Take off his handcuffs."
And he
And-
breaks them off and fucking
Yeah, he
himself.
breaks him up. They're like, well,
Grabs
I
him
guess
with his hands.
guess he's
and-
gonna do it at himself.
And then he pulls a toy out of his shirt. Another toy train. Like
Yeah.
Riki-Oh made a new one for
Well, there's a
him.
caboose now.
Why didn't we get the scene of him remaking that toy?
I want that to be like almost like a training montage of just Riki-Oh like sanding the wood and cutting it and
Yeah.
everything. Because you know he did that shit with his hands and teeth.
Absolutely.
Which
But,
is like sawdust flying in his face. It's like,
So yeah, he lays a toy train on this guy's corpse after breaking the handcuffs with his own hands, and then he screams into the rain.
He goes, Con! Oh, I mean,
And he throws a couple of punches at no one in particular. It's pretty awesome.
yeah,
He's like,
it's just the
"Ah,
rage
Tybo."
move. Yeah, well, that's why he's in such good shape.
That's how you do it. You know, it's like DDP yoga. It's not about lifting. It's about like just tensing the muscles and moving.
I rage in the rain all the time. Sometimes in the shower, twice.
And so now we cut to the next day again because this movie takes place over the span of like 6 months because it's just every scene is the next day.
and so it's Ricky and the captain, right? Ricky and the block captain, I guess. Samuel, right?
Yeah.
The cell block. Like, what would you call him? Like the associate manager?
He's
Like-
one of the four. So he is the block
yes.
leader.
Oh, yeah, this is one of the guys. Yeah,
Yeah,
Samuel.
Sam is one of the four.
He's like the shift leader.
Yeah, he's like the shift leader.
He's the MOD.
And so he's taking a shower next to Ricky.
And they explain when Ricky goes in that you can either do your laundry or take a shit, but you got 15 minutes.
I'm like, 15 minutes to do laundry? Come on, man. That's not even reasonable. You can't even get a good wash or dry on at that point.
No.
And
Same
so
with
then
taking a shit for most people. I gotta say, like,
Oh,
I
dude.
only got 15 minutes to do this.
Dude,
Yeah, what the
25
fuck?
minutes minimum.
Yeah,
So then Zorro comes in, and he goes, "Hey, Ricky."
it's pretty great because they do the Jurassic Park where like you feel the vibrations of his footfalls.
He comes up and goes, "Hey, Ricky." And then he just punches him right in like the face or in the chest, and he
Yeah.
goes fucking flying
He goes
across
flying
the room.
across the room, hits the wall next to a showering guy. You guys, mark your bingo cards.
Yeah.
We get to see a man's asshole.
Yeah.
There we go.
I rewound it and found out he actually does hit the bare-assed man because he falls right into this dude. And this would be me for sure. I'd be like, "Oh shit, man," because this guy books it and he does the right thing. Is Riki-Oh hits him when he lands, and he's like, "No." You
Like,
never see
no
this
part
guy
of this.
again, dude. He just exits.
He maximized his minutes. He showed up, he showed you his asshole, and he left the movie. And Zorro explains, "Someone gave me 30 pounds of rice to turn you into mincemeat."
And put you in a pie.
And Ricky goes, "Well, you think you can do it?" And then he rushes him, and he punches him real hard in the stomach. How hard, man?
So good. So hard that his entire fist goes through, in and out.
Jesus
So
Christ.
fucking good.
I mean, this is how you kill King Hippo and Punch-Out.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
finally hit him in the gut.
Like, yeah, it's that extended version of Punch-Out where instead of falling down with his pants, his stomach falls out.
Yeah, when Little Mac punches through him, and Doc's like, "Holy shit, man! I said punch him, but goddamn, Mac."
And it's funny, because we thought like falling on the nails face first was going to be like the most extreme thing when you're first watching this.
Oh, yeah.
And then he just punches out a person's stomach.
But then the captain runs up to him. Sammy runs up to him with a big ass nail,
He's just got this like this spike in his fingers.
and he goes to hit Ricky with it. Ricky blocks it with his hand, and I mean blocks it as in lets it go through
At
his
least
fucking
pulling
hand.
a fucking Jesus, like a Jesus with this shit.
It's dope because he's
That's
got
what
the
he
the
did
nail
say that
between
line.
Yeah.
he's got the nail between his fingers like a Wolverine claw. And so he goes for it. It goes through Ricky's hand. Ricky catches his fist and breaks every finger on his hand.
It's fucking
Yeah.
crazy. And he takes the nail out of his own hand,
And one of the guards goes, all right, stop fighting. And right before they stop, Riki-Oh goes, yeah, one more thing. And he punches him in the stomach.
Yeah, punches a hole right through him. Which I believe the camera's fastened like behind the guy, so you just see all these chunks fly into the camera.
It's like something Jason would do.
And then the guards take him out, but then this tatted up guy walks up to Ricky, so he must be the other manager or something. Oscar, right?
Oscar is is he one of the other 4? No, he's actually immediately the replacement for Samuel.
Yeah. So
they had him lined up because we got the other 3 that I can name off the top of my head. So yeah, he has immediately stepped in and go. Second Samuel got his guts punched out. Oscar stepped in, like put on the name tag.
Yeah,
He's like, looks like I'm the manager now.
Yeah, because he walks up and goes, "Hey, I'm the head of the North Cell now. Ricky, when you're done with your punishment, I want to talk to you, man. Maybe we can work together. Am I right?" And he's like, "Okay." And I gotta say, guys, his name Oscar. He's kind of a grouch. You know?
Jesus.
So Ricky's thrown into a cell, and he's told, hey, you'll be visiting the assistant warden tomorrow. And I write, but I thought nobody could see it. So,
yeah.
Oh, well.
Well,
So,
I mean, to be fair, though, none of the other prisoners are able to murder punch people like this.
That's true.
So this is kind of a special exception.
And
he's in solitary for the night, and he's doing some meditating, and we get our first flashback.
Well, he's doing meditation. He's like having a heart attack.
He's meditating real hard.
He's like, ow, my chest.
Well, it's because he's using his... I've got the name of it in the notes later, but he's using his ability to heal his wounds.
Oh, I thought he was doing like a Sanford and Son. He's like, I'm coming, Delilah, I'm coming.
Elizabeth, it's the big one. No, and so yeah, it's the big one. And no, he's closing up the wounds in his hand, and because he has not only super strength but a healing factor.
Yes.
And we flash back to his youth, and by that I mean we have the exact same actor looking identical, but he's dressed like a schoolboy.
Yeah, carrying some books.
Yeah. This is like a V-neck sweater or some shit at one point.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Which is funny because he is 18. So, like, it's actually not that unbelievable, but because we've seen him as, like,
But the outfit
supposedly
makes
a
it look like he's
full-grown man.
flashing back to when he was 11 years old,
Yeah.
but they used the same actor.
Well, he did have that-
He's just in, like, a spinner cap
Yeah, he
and
did
some
have
long
that big
stockings.
lollipop. Yeah, the spinner
The
hat
short
and
pants.
everything.
He's dressed like Angus from AC/DC.
Yeah.
He's going to be wearing like that blue outfit from Pet Cemetery next.
Yeah. It's funny you say that because there is a character in this movie that we'll get to.
And, so he's cutting through the graveyard. It's a shortcut on the way
Well,
home
like
from school.
you do, right?
And
now, is he visiting his father's grave? Because at
I
one point
believe
he
that's
does,
the idea.
Yeah.
Because that's why he cuts through the graveyard. And there's a man standing next to his father's grave. He goes, Ricky, I'm your uncle. Been waiting for you been watching you your whole life.
He says, since you were 7... Oh, yeah, watching your whole life. Since you were 7, 8 years old.
Oof.
I'm like, no, let's nail it down. 7 or 8, dude. You don't just say since you were 7, 8 years old.
Give or take a couple months. Look, you've had superhuman strength since you were a little kid. Do you still have it?
And Ricky goes, you want to see super strength?
It's like, Jesus, I wonder if he's been watching him. What the fuck?
He goes, yeah, watch what I could do. He's just sort of... It's like Stewart from Mad TV. He's just like throwing a couple punches. He does a backflip.
Well, yeah, I was like, if you kick the air's ass, that doesn't count, dude. Like, that's not super strength. Because he just says, he's not punching anything or demonstrating super strength. He's just doing punches and kicks in the air.
And so his uncle kind of watches him do this little demonstration and then knocks him right on his ass. He goes, Ricky, I'm disappointed.
Oh, this is maybe one of my favorite lines, is that Ricky runs up to him, because for some reason to demonstrate he's going to attack his own uncle, is he runs up and he tries to hit him. His uncle knocks him on his ass, and you hear Ricky go, that hurt, in that type of voice.
Yeah, that's how you know he's younger.
And he goes, Ricky, I'm disappointed.
And he
You're
goes,
still as clumsy as you always were.
He goes, Uncle, I want to learn Qigong. That's the name of
Oh, God.
Oh,
the magic.
Qigong? Okay, good.
Magic
Good that you
Qigong.
got it, because I thought he said Chico. I was like, what the fuck?
I want to learn Chico.
I was like, this is some sort of Razor Ramon
Hey,
shit.
yo. Yeah, this is machismo. He focuses his machismo. And that's how he's able to give everybody the razor's edge. No, so he goes, I want to learn Qigong so I could help the weak. Will you teach me?
Yeah, okay, all right.
And so we
Guess
flash to night.
Yeah.
We've done a time jump in
Yeah.
the flashback.
Now, were they
Yeah.
just standing there staring at each other until
It
night
seems that
came?
way. The setting hasn't changed, but now it's dark.
Well, they did, because they're like, well, we got to wait. Let's just wait till the people clear out, because this is going to be really
it's
cool.
really awkward, man.
They're probably going to get really mad if we throw these headstones around
Then we're
while
going to draw a
everybody's
crowd, and
here.
we get awkward, and I get self-conscious.
So he explains, Qigong requires that you control your temperament. Qigong accumulates energy through the body and shields you from all attacks. And we show this by having cartoon fire appear around his body while he meditates.
I think this is what Moses saw when he said he saw the burning bush.
Yeah.
It was-
Yeah.
Dude, Moses was a fucking master of Chico.
yeah.
It's like,
And
you
he-
want to part that sea, Moses? Huh?
Yeah.
And
You
he
gotta
walks
learn
over
the Chico.
to one of the headstones. He goes, Now call forth your energy and break this headstone. Watch.
You mean
And
this
just
99-cent Party City tombstone we got? Yeah,
Styrofoam
sure.
tombstone explodes
I
on
mean, to be
impact.
fair, when he throws them, they've got some weight to them.
Yeah, I
And
don't know
the
what
way
they
they-
made these out of, but it's pretty cool.
Yeah, baking soda and mud.
And so that's how they practice. He just starts pulling up people's headstones
Yeah.
and whipping them at this boy.
Hey, man,
And
they're
he's-
dead.
Yeah,
You know?
and it's like a skeet shoot because
Well,
he's just punching them out of the sky and kicking them.
Well, they only moved the headstone, so it's okay.
Son of a bitch.
And Ricky does great, dude.
Yeah,
He's doing
apparently
great.
he mastered that shit in an afternoon. It's
Yeah.
just like, that's it.
The hopeful
man.
music swells, and the uncle just goes, ha, ha, good. Just goes back to the prison.
Yeah, we come back out of the flashback, and now it's morning. So he just sat there and reminisced all night. And yeah, they come for him and go, it's time to see the assistant warden.
And so Dr. Claw,
Oh, man. And so we meet him as
This
lunch
guy's-
is being wheeled in.
he has all sorts of issues.
There's a
this
lot
guy.
to
Like,
unpack here.
Jesus, man. Do you think like he had diabetes or something? Like, is that why he lost a limb at some point? Or is it... Because I don't know,
Well,
man.
he's missing a limb. He's missing an eye.
I know, like, what the fuck?
Though that's a problem later in the film, his missing eye.
That is... Oh.
We'll get into that.
Yeah, you're right.
We have a real issue with that. So yeah, they wheel in lunch, and it's a super rare steak. In that, like, it's cartoonishly bloody.
Yeah.
It's not even blue. It's like, it's not. No one even tried to cook it. They just sort of like browned the outside.
Give it a
for
little
split
sear,
second.
you know, it's good to go.
And he jams it with his claw hand. And I don't know if you guys noticed this, but you see the wall behind him?
Oh, the wall covered in pornography?
He's got a massive tape collection.
Yeah, all on VHS.
Of
On
like
oh, man.
oversized boxes.
The details they went into on that.
And yeah, this massive food spread. He's like the ghost of Christmas present. You know, it's got this.
this is fucking
or is
lunch.
that past? I don't remember which is which.
This is lunch, and he's got the full spread, like you're saying. He looks like some sort of... He's like Cleopatra's meal or some shit like this.
Or his
the,
last meal.
He reaches for his glass of water, and it's got his eye sitting in it.
Oh,
Because he has a glass eye, and he
Yeah.
like rinsed it off. But he's drinking out of the glass while the eye is in it.
Can you imagine swallowing that shit?
Ugh.
I'm sure it's happened, Chris. But you know what? We'll find out. It's not that big a deal because what's inside of it, you know? What he
That's
keeps in
true,
there.
yeah.
Handy.
Right. And so a guard starts reading Ricky's entire file to him. And it turns out he's got and 2 years unaccounted for between dropping out of high school and his manslaughter conviction.
2 years in a graveyard.
Yeah, he spent 2 years in the graveyard punching headstones with his uncle.
But I like this. The assistant warden stands up, so Cyclops Dan stands up and he's like, "Where are those 2 years? What did you do for those 2 years?" And he's like, and then he just goes, "And why do you have bullets in your chest?"
But he's not answering. He's just sort of staring at him. And he goes, "Oh, you'll talk eventually. We got a letter for you this morning. There's a photograph inside."
And he pulls it out and he's like, come over here. You want to
Yeah.
see it? You want to see it?
And when Riki-Oh reaches for the...
It's a trap!
Oh, my God. Because he reaches for the photo and gets the claw hook right in his head.
Yeah. Bastard.
And he goes, "Don't you ever take me for a dummy."
Do you think if Inspector Gadget ever went to Dr. Claw's lair, like if he ever saw him, that he would get him in the same type of trap? For sure, right?
Oh, yeah.
Big, come over here, Gadget. I'll show you that. Oh, gotcha.
But then Gadget
Dumbass.
just throws a crumpled up piece of paper.
Yeah.
But, yeah, and so he goes, I want to see how tough the man who killed Samuel is. So he starts laying in punches, and Ricky doesn't react. He's still just staring at him.
Yeah, because his hand is stuck on the table under the claw, and he's
Yeah.
just getting punched by his own real
right
life
in
dad.
the face. His father is beating the shit out of him, and he just stares at him. And this is the first scene where you notice that they're almost laughing at each other.
Yeah.
Because he's also like, yeah, take 15, right? Let's get this one in one more time. Lay him in sick this time.
And Cyclops Dan is kind of interested in the fact that he's not reacting. He goes, "Oh, you're used to this. Trained killer, maybe? Don't tell me you're some kind of special agent, because I've arranged a few accidents for people accused of espionage." And Ricky finally does react by spitting blood in his face.
Yeah, he's all pissed about it.
Yeah.
Cyclops Dan is
Spit
like,
take.
no.
You know what? I tried to be nice, Ricky. I did. Maybe we'll bring your girlfriend here, and I'll, and he
Oh,
crumples the
boy.
photo.
And Ricky does not like this because he fucking flips out and he starts going, and he breaks that fucking table
Just
like a
by
tombstone.
pushing down on
Yeah.
it.
And then he just starts kicking the warden's ass, right? He kicks Cyclops Dan's ass for a while.
Cyclops Dan quick draws a revolver at him and fires off a shot, but Ricky spins in midair, grabs the silver food platter, and blocks with it.
And then he pins him up against a wall, and he's about to punch him right through the face, and he goes 1 inch from the face and stops
Again, big dick energy.
and pulls back, and he takes the picture of his girlfriend, and then he lets himself out of the office. Holy shit,
And
man.
he goes, "Ricky, I won't forget this." And Ricky turns back and goes, Just stay out of my business. And the warden is left watching him going, what kind of demon is this?
Now, I'm going to reference another Nick Cage movie because I was like, dude, Riki-Oh needs to be in that face-off prison because he is a little bit too much for, these regular prisons. They need the magnet boots on this dude, right? Because, like, holy shit, man.
For real.
Magnets on his fists, too. Jesus.
Yeah, they put the boots on it. He's on all fours going around the
prison. Collar and everything.
Oh, God. And so then we cut to maybe the best flashback of the movie.
Well, so first he puts a picture of his girlfriend, the crumpled one. He fixes it all flat and puts it under his bed to look at later.
Yeah,
and then he reaches back into his Mary Poppins bag of a shirt and he pulls out a flute. He pulls out like a wooden recorder he probably made with his hands when he made the toy train.
Well, it did say part of his background is that he went to college to study the flute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a flautist.
Yeah. Riki-Oh is a flautist.
Like, all these superpowers also trained flautists.
Yeah.
And that's when we go to your favorite flashback moment.
Oh, man. So, Chris Mann and I have done this multiple times.
Yeah.
We both have little RC airplane and helicopters. We giggle and chase each other around the field.
Yeah.
Him and his girlfriend are just running around going, hee hee hee, look at my airplane, look at my helicopter.
The
And
helicopter was a nice reveal, though, because we're playing with the airplane, and then Ricky's got like a little surprise, and he picks up another controller, and this helicopter shows up, and it's got a banner hanging from it that says, Ying is like a firefly lighting up the night.
Now, you say banner, this thing's like a goddamn, like, this is like the fucking Torah hanging from this thing. It's huge, dude. It goes down like 5 feet, and she's almost like, what?
She looks a little confused, like, what the shit is, what, did you go to Kinko's?
Let me just kind of flash back to him playing his flute in the cell. Yeah. The music flute, not the
right.
other one.
Yeah.
And a guard comes and pounds on the bars.
So,
How many times do you think they said that? Ricky's playing with this flute again. And so then I write, what the hell? Because the next thing we see is we cut to the bald goon, and
Yeah, he's one of Sam's old henchmen, who
What
I
I
guess
can
is
see
now one of Oscar's henchmen.
is that he's upper deckering a toilet?
He's taking a big shit in the upper deck.
He really is. He is,
Well,
right?
If you watch the dubbed version, because it's not in the subtitle version, he is singing Satisfaction.
Yes. He does not wash his hands. He upper deckers a toilet.
Walks out singing the Rolling Stones.
And we know this because he's sitting above the fucking stall doors. Like, you can see his ass, like, hanging out. And he's like, get no satisfaction. And
But I
he's
try. And I try. I'm like, I like this guy. Let's follow him for the rest of the movie. And he walks out, and suddenly he's surrounded by the boys.
Yeah, the
Not
other
the other
prisoners.
goons, but like the good guy prisoners who are all here on trumped up charges.
Yeah.
And they go, you got old Mao killed.
And he's like, wait, hold up. And then they kick him down some stairs. They kick him over some stairs.
Well, he says, I'll give you guys anything you want. And they go, okay, here's what we want. Number 1, eat shit. Number 2, lick our shoes clean. And number 3, hey, Andrew, what do you want for number 3? And he goes, to chop him up and feed him to the dogs. And he pulls out a machete.
Yeah, okay, you say machete. This is like...
it's like a double-sided saw.
Okay,
It's like a
it's like-
Jason X machete.
Yeah.
It is like the saw blade that the crocodile men in
In the Devil's Sword.
Yeah, the Devil's Sword have. This thing is fucking crazy, dude.
Yeah, like Uber Jason on the spaceship had one of these.
It's like a saw machete. It is awesome. And by the way,
And-
Jason X, you hack, right?
And rightfully so, this dude just pisses himself.
Oh, I would. If somebody pulled that out and they're like, you're going to taste this thing, I'm like, oh, I'm already wet.
And before Andrew can take him out with this future machete, this mute guy runs in and starts gesturing at him like, no. And then in walks Oscar.
I told you he was a grouch, dude.
He was. And he
He's
goes,
pissed.
Andrew, what are the rules?
And the bald guy runs over to him. He's like, oh, Oscar, are you here to help me? And then he kicks him off, right? And he's not even going to help him.
And he explains, in the North Wing, only Oscar gets to punish people. Let the bastard go. By the way, everyone calls everyone a bastard in this. It's endless.
Yeah.
And so they let him go, right? And then...
And Andrew's got a real problem with this.
yeah, he don't like the plan, man.
It's like, Jesus Christ, Oscar, let him go, let those guys go. Look, if you can't make a decision, and the mute guy is like shaking his head at him like, shut the fuck up. And he goes, hey, maybe you shouldn't even be in charge of that if you're not going to do shit around
oh, boy.
God damn.
Somebody wants the management job.
here. Chris Mann, how does the manager react?
Not very wisely.
Just like in Target.
Yeah.
He spins around and hits you with a saw right in the face.
Right in the side of the jaw and goes.
It's like a cut through saw that's gonna fit like a bad like joke store gag.
Look, dude.
It's like the Steve Martin arrow through the head.
Yeah.
You fucking give the target manager of the hardware aisle a lip, you'll get a saw face. You'll get a saw to the face.
It's
dude.
like we don't. It's like every time at this point in the film, we know that every time a new prop is introduced, it's going into someone somehow.
Oh,
in some
absolutely.
way. So when I saw this, I was like, oh come on.
You know what? Thank God though they use them all, right? Like
Yeah.
there's no teases in this movie, dude.
Yeah, I think. Well, if there's like a metronome on the table, I'm curious. Just randomly out of nowhere.
So then the Cyclops dad comes in and just hooks him like a fish.
Yeah.
And he goes, "I'm gonna use him later to lure Riki-Oh." I'm like, what? What the? What? How? And so we see in the Cyclops Dan's office that Oscar comes to visit. That's when he says, "Yeah, I'm going to use that saw dude Andrew. I'm going to use him to lure Riki-Oh."
Well, because there's a morale issue here with Ricky whooping ass at everybody. Is that if all the other inmates see Ricky standing up to everybody, why I'm going to be doomed?
Yeah.
He goes, "Hey, I want you to have this, Oscar," and he gives him this fucking Rambo knife.
Yeah. And he goes, "Don't open it now, though. It's got a little surprise in it. Also, you want a mint?"
Every day.
Yeah,
So-
and it turns out his glass eye is actually like a container for mints.
Yeah.
He's got fucking Altoids in the thing.
I
That's
think
crazy.
Well, Altoids are a little big. I think it's more like micro Tic Tacs.
Tic Tac minis.
So this man
And he
constantly now, in multiple parts of the movie, will pop his own eye out and eat a mint from
And
it.
shake a mint into his hand and then put his eye back in his face. I love this movie. And he goes, "Just remember, Oscar, give me a good show out there."
And so,
Cut to the next day.
so I think Chris said at one point, Jesus, well, Chris,
Yeah.
we've crucified a man.
We have like, well, we have
such
just
Spain.
the materials to get a man up there, huh? And just chain him up.
Not only have we crucified a man, we've crucified Andrew onto about a 20-foot tall cross.
Yeah.
It's massive.
It's huge. And it's, from what I can see, it's metal. Like they have taken
Oh, it's metal as fuck.
bars, like you would build a high-rise out of, and crucified a man on top of it.
Just with chains. They didn't even like nail him. They just like chained him up to it.
And then Ricky comes up, and he's like, "Dude,
playing
what
a leaf.
What the fuck?" And also, by the way, Oscar's sitting on top of it, right? Just waiting all day for Ricky to
It's
walk
like,
by.
I
He's
can't
like,
wait to see the look on this guy's
you gonna see
face.
it?
Ricky shows up late. He's blowing on a leaf like it's a flute. He's just chilling. He looks up like, well, I'll be damned. And Oscar calls down to him. He's just like, Ricky, I used to think you were tough, but I got to protect the reputation of the Gang of Four, so I'm going to finish you off today.
Also, by the way, they didn't need to crucify the man, because if you wanted to get in a fight with Riki-Oh, you just say, "Hey, let's get in a fight."
Just go, "Hey, Ricky, fuck you," and then you can start. But and Ricky just kind of calmly is like, "Yeah, all right," and takes his shirt off.
But Oscar doesn't fight fair, okay? Because they get in a fight, and he brings out that knife from Cyclops Dan. And you know what? Fucking wrestling heel style.
Yeah.
He's got that goddamn glitter powder inside there.
He does. And he took off his shirt, and, again, the Greek chorus of other goons give us some exposition. They go, "Anyone who sees Oscar's tattoo has to die."
Yeah, it's like, oh no, he's going to fight to the death now. And inside that knife was not, we think it's glitter, but it's actually glass?
Powdered glass in
Powdered
the
glass.
sheath that holds the knife.
That flies into Ricky's face and blinds him,
Yeah.
because now he's got bloody eyes.
Yeah, he goes,
right?
"Let's see how strong you are when you're blind." And yeah, he just threw a bunch of powdered, broken glass in
Yeah,
his face.
it's rough, man.
It is, and I was like, holy shit, he's going to be blind for the rest
Yeah, I
of the
thought
movie.
that too, but
Ricky looks
apparently,
like his eyes got pecked out by crows.
yeah,
Yeah.
but hey, just hold it under like a geyser of water and you're good.
Yeah, well, before that,
Yeah.
he
Well,
also
while
stabs
Ricky's
Ricky
blind.
in the arm.
Yeah, it doesn't stab him. He just gashes his arm open.
And he's like,
And all
"Ha,
the
now you're
tendons and
crippled."
shit. He's like, "Now you don't have an eyes or an arm."
And how's he going to get out of this, Chris? He falls on the ground,
Yeah,
and there's that sprinkler.
that's right. And he's gonna elbow the fucking thing, and there's this geyser of water just comes out of nowhere. Like, what are the fucking odds?
Yeah, and it just apparently fixes his eyesight.
Yeah, well, it must be like a holy thing
He
because
rinses
the
there's a
wounds out of
crucifix
his
thing.
eyes.
We got the crucifix now.
Well,
He's-
everybody knows you get holy water from prisons.
right, yeah.
That water's got Chico in it.
Yeah. And then he takes his arm.
He takes a ligament, right?
He like takes it in his mouth, and then
tendon.
he sews up his own tendons.
Yeah.
It happens in a moment. He does something first.
Oh,
Yeah, right now he just stands up and his eyes are fine. And that's when everyone's like, "Oh shit, there's a fight." They all start joining up to watch. And he goes, "Oh, okay, so you can see again, but your arm's still fucked." basically. And that's when he charges him with a knife. Ricky sidesteps the charge and then does the, like, should have had a V8 smack to the back of the head, and Oscar's eye pops out.
And then these crows fly in and just take it away.
Yeah, that's the best.
I was like, oh, shit,
And while
man.
Oscar's going, how the fuck did this happen?
Those birds are hungry, dude. They've been waiting for an eye for months,
Oh, yeah.
man.
That's when Ricky uses his hand and his teeth to tie off the tendons in his arm, and that fixes everything.
I'm like, that's not how it works, but okay.
It does when you've got Chico.
Yeah, you remember that match where Razor Ramon bit his own tendons and tied it back together?
Oh, yeah. I loved that match. So,
You know what? Funny thing, that's why he always carried the toothpick. It's a little medical device when
true.
you need it.
and Oscar is like not wanting anything to do with this now. And he goes, you know what, Ricky? You're all right. And he drops to his knees and performs seppuku.
Yeah, dude commits seppuku,
Holy
right? And
yeah.
Ricky-Oh's like, no, wait, hold on, dude. Like, we don't have to do this. Like,
he
let's-
runs to him.
Oh, God.
Chris, man.
No, go for it.
So he pulls out the intestines.
And he goes,
Oh,
Ricky,
God.
we'll die together. He starts
It's
choking him
just-
with his own intestines.
that
this
part
is-
kind of made me like kind of dry heave a bit. I'm like, that's a little much even for me.
It's pretty gross.
Yeah.
This is when I was like, this is like
didn't-
Dead Alive style.
Yeah.
This has gone to
Which was a year prior to this.
an insane degree, right?
And Cyclops Dan, the assistant warden, yells ahead, hey, Oscar, you got a lot of guts. Like, not the time, dude.
And then, guys, we get an X-ray punch.
It's so
That's
great.
right. Yeah.
Like,
He
straight out of the
says-
Street Fighter.
I don't want to have to kill you, Oscar. And then he flips him into the air and then punches him in the face.
Yeah, X-ray punches him to death, dude.
It's great. That's like...
And then I write in my notes, I go, well, how many extra years does Ricky have added to his sentence at this point? How many people has he killed in this prison? Like, holy shit, dude.
people wholesale.
Yeah.
Like
why isn't he in
Ricky-
solitary yet?
Yeah, this is not how you climb up the corporate ladder
They
of
should
the
have
prison,
drowned him
dude.
by now.
Like, would have found a way out of that. They could have, like, the old cement shoes, and somehow he gets out of that.
Is this how you work your way up in, like, Goldman Sachs or something? You got to take a few dudes out
There's going to be
in
some
the
X-ray
first
punches.
week?
So, yeah, he walks over and he just by himself uproots this massive crucifix out of the ground.
Yeah, and lays it down, and he dead, dude.
Poor Andrew passed away during the
dead.
fight.
Prisoners are all happy. They're like, yay, Ricky won. And they're also like, who's the manager now? And they're like, what? Well, you know what? We're going to have to figure this out. So, guys,
But this has inspired the inmates who are now going to rush all the guards. They're like, fuck it. Riki-Oh's our leader now. We can take this over. And Cyclops Dan goes, am I going to have to call the gang of 4? Parentheses, of which there are 3.
yeah, this is a direct Grindbin connection. It's the Gang of 4, of which there are 3 of.
Yes.
And then enter the rest of the pillars. What was it? The Pillars of Heaven?
Yeah, something like that.
And so we get our first spot of Tarzan, who does Jax's fatality from Mortal Kombat
Yeah.
2. A guy runs up on him and he just claps his head.
Fucking
Oh,
love
yeah.
that,
Like
dude.
Gallagher hitting a watermelon. And by the way, no one acknowledges that this dude just got murdered.
Well,
It's blink and you miss it.
Yeah.
Bobby, some guy runs up to him and gets his head smashed. I'm going to be like, I'm just going to forget that whatever happened. Holy shit.
And then from behind Tarzan comes this dude with like a sweet blonde streak in his hair.
Yeah.
And he throws a harpoon like Scorpion from Mortal Kombat. Only it's not so much a big harpoon as it's like a knitting needle on a string.
Yeah, it's like if Scorpion had knitting needles.
And he harpoons a guy.
That
And-
would be really funny, though, if in Mortal Kombat Scorpion threw a knitting
That should be
needle
like a
instead of
friendship
art.
move. He knits you something.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
goes
a little
off screen and
crochet.
comes back, a little booty. And then the third person comes flying up out of the ground.
Yeah.
Like one of the crocodile men.
He does this all the time. He just keeps coming up from the sewer.
And this character's name is Rogan, and is an androgynous character. And to convey that, they actually cast an actress in the role.
Now, I didn't know this until I looked at the IMDb.
You
Yeah,
thought
I
the
was-
character was just female?
No, I thought the actor was a man.
You thought it was an
Yeah.
effeminate
For
man.
the first half, I was like, this is a guy, and then I realized certain mannerisms and facial structures. Of okay,
Yeah.
it's certain lighting changes. You realize.
It's actually a trained martial artist named Yukari Oshima,
Wow.
who went on to have a lot of other roles. I think she's like 66 credits. A lot of
Damn.
martial arts films. She was kind of a
Good for her.
She was a popular actress at the time for
Yeah.
her martial arts stuff. So this was kind of a big get to have her play this androgynous character, and she's pretty dope in this.
And I like this is so that the assistant warden, so Cyclops Dan is like, we're going to have a big fight, right? And then Ricky's like, not today. Not today. Andrew died. Don't you guys remember Andrew, that character that's been around for 5 minutes of
Right.
the movie? And he just kind of like picks him up on his shoulders. He's walking off with him. The assistant warden's, kind of like, So, I mean, are we really not going to fight, Ricky? Or are you just going to...
And so since Ricky's not going to fight, the warden, as Ricky's walking off, is like, hey, how do you feel about replacing Oscar? We got an opening now in the Gang of Four. And he doesn't answer him.
And then we cut to just this mute guy who's Oscar's godson, because one of the prisoners go,
The Greek
"Oh my
chorus
God.
guy's here to explain the exposition.
Oh my God, he's Oscar's godson. He must be feel so terrible." I'm like, what the fuck?
And he sees Ricky walk by blowing a leaf again.
Yeah, so this is later on.
Yeah.
You know, the next month.
And we get to see Alan trying to do it himself, but it's not working. He's just...
Yeah, and Ricky's like, "No, this is how you do it." And he's teaching him, right? He's like,
he teaches him later.
Yeah, well, Ricky,
Yeah, he comes
Ricky
by.
teaches him, right? And he's
goes,
like,
"It's
"No,
easy.
this is how you blow into the leaf. You just do it like this."
See, you
know?
got to roll your tongue back a little
Yeah.
bit. And Alan starts crying. And he's like, "What? Well, did I say something?" And Alan sticks his tongue out, or at
Well,
least
yeah.
what's left of it.
Yeah.
It's like Roach in The People Under the Stairs.
That's true.
Yeah, he opens his mouth and there's no tongue, and Ricky goes, "Oh, somebody cut your tongue out."
Yeah. The detail, though, they did on this no tongue gag.
Yeah, it
It
was.
was really good.
Eesh.
And so Ricky has a thought as he's walking away from him, and he reaches into his bottomless shirt full of goodies,
Yeah, he goes, "You want to play my flute?"
and he whips out his flute and goes, "Blow on this."
I would watch that first.
And oh man, Alan is psyched.
Yeah,
And he's like,
regular Pied Piper. This kid is.
he's
you
like
know?
doing like laps around the fucking courtyard.
And meanwhile, Rogan, the androgynous character,
Yeah.
is watching this whole thing go down. And well, Alan wants to give him a gift back. You know, fair's fair. And so he hands him a handful of leaves. Only that's when Ricky realizes that these aren't just regular leaves. Jesus Christ, these are poppy leaves.
Yeah, we're 40 minutes in the movie. We better come up with some sort of subplot. Am I right?
So dun dun dun.
This is like the worst fucking add-on to like this movie. Like, we didn't need this.
No, I'm happy with just the blood and guts and the fighting. We don't need reasons for it.
No. So the next thing we see is like he kind of points out where it is, where the poppies are, right? But then we cut to the bosses of 3, of which there are supposed to be 4, right? And they're talking about how the godson knows. He's like, "Hey, he told Ricky where the poppies are," and they're all pissed about it. And then the godson walks in the room. They're like, "Dude, you told Ricky about where the poppies are, man. Why'd you do that? You got to take care of him now. I mean, he killed your godfather," and they hand him this knife. Holy shit, guys. So they've set up an altar, okay?
Yeah.
And we know this because he goes, "Don't you feel bad about your godfather dying?"
And then Tarzan pulls the curtain back.
And this is like something out of the movie Seven.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, or
It's just
like
this
House of a Thousand Corpses when he goes, "Fish boy!"
they have
grotesque tableau of just this carcass.
they have the carcass on a bed,
Yeah.
but they've carved off his tattoo and placed it on the wall like it's the fucking Red Dragon.
Like they
tattoo or
retired his
some shit.
jersey.
Yeah, they did. They retired his jersey on the wall. They're like,
This
"Don't
one's for
you
you,
feel
Oscar."
bad for your godfather?"
And they say, "Ricky did all of this."
And he's like, "Well, not the carving part, I'm sure." That
And Alan's just shaking his head like, well, obviously he didn't. He didn't come in here and skin Oscar's corpse.
And they're like, "Well, you're a traitor." And so they go, "Well, you know what we do with traitors? We're not going to just cut off your tongue this time."
And so in one swipe, they strip his face off below the nose somehow.
This is so, again, very
Yeah.
Dead Alive.
Yes.
Where, like, half of his face just gets taken off like a mask.
So he's just got like the bloody skeleton mouth going.
Yeah.
It's like that Return of the Living Dead thing.
Yes.
at the very beginning.
Starman.
Looks
Yeah.
just like it.
And so now he's been left for dead. The godson's been left for dead. I don't know how they know it, because the body is fully skinned.
Dude, he looks like the Predator got him.
Yeah, but the prisoners walk out, they go, "Oh, that's the godson." I'm like, how do you know?
Yeah,
how do
the
you know?
exposition pals that know everything.
It's also at night. So they're just like, they see a heap of a person. They're like, "Oh, that must be him."
Well, you know, with Oscar gone, it was only a matter of time before they got him.
And they're like, "This is totally Rogan style. Total Rogan. Am I right, guys?"
Classic
Classic.
They
Rogan.
do say, like, one of the guys basically says
Does.
that.
Oh, Rogan's at it again.
And then Ricky comes up and like, "Oh shit, Ricky gonna be mad."
And you know he's mad because he, with his thumb, snaps the recorder in half.
Yeah, because he goes up to the flute, right? He picks it up, he snaps it in half, and then he goes, "Bastard!"
Into the night sky.
And then Cyclops, Dan, and Rogan are hanging out in his office, right? And he's like, "You mean Ricky learned about the poppies? You mean the other part of the movie we didn't tell him about?"
Or the audience?
Yeah. You mean that whole other wing of the prison nobody knows about?
Right. That's obviously not kept under lock and key.
Cut to, all the poppies are being burned.
Yeah.
So fuck that subplot, am I right?
Yeah, he's burning the whole opium operation. And he's like, "This is for Alan."
Yeah.
And Rogan goes like, no, because he sees it from the window and he runs over. He's like, Ricky, why you burning all my poppies?
Ryan Johnson, you fucking hack. Burning the Jedi texts.
Yep. It all comes back to this. And when Rogan comes in and does like a cartwheel, somebody off screen goes, his kung fu is unorthodox.
Oh, God. And so, yeah. So they get this whole fucking greenhouse full of poppies and all this shit. They had like this whole operation going on the other side of the movie we never got to see, the fucking B side, right?
Yeah. I'm sure it gets explored in the manga.
And Ricky's
Was there a part where
mad.
they free animals too?
Yeah. Ricky's
Burning
mad.
the zoo.
There's a casino scene and shit. God.
Yeah, oh, yeah. You definitely get the casino planet, yeah.
Casino with a prison.
Yeah, there was that whole point where Finn found the field of poppies they cut out. And so Ricky's like, how dare you grow opium? I'm like, Ricky, it's a prison, dude.
God
like,
damn
what
you.
did you think went on here? This is where people break the law.
It's like, how dare you blow each other at night at the glory hole? What do you think is going to happen?
And so then Ricky and Rogan have this fight, right? And Rogan punches him right in the gut and he goes, I've given you the death spot, bro.
Yeah, it's like the Kill Bill
Yeah.
5-finger death punch.
Oh,
move.
yeah.
He's
It's
like,
fucking great.
you
Yeah, it
will
plays a 5-finger
also-
death punch
yeah.
album and it's supposed to kill him.
And he goes, you will be dead soon. And then the prisoners are running around and they're like, oh no. And I'm like, wait, hold up. They all just run out of their cells because they're like, cool, fight. Like, there's no locks or anything. They're just fucking running around this prison,
It's all
man.
in the honor
Honor
system,
system, man. I mean, it's progressive.
And that's when you cut to Cyclops Dan. He's like, get those guys back in their cells. What the fuck are we doing around here? We don't lock the doors.
And his assistant is like, okay, we got the fire department on the phone because half the prison's on fire. Also, by the way, the warden's coming back early tomorrow, and he drops his mints.
Okay. The one guy says, yeah, the fire department's on the phone. And Cyclops Dan says, tell them we're burning rubbish. Just,
Burning trash
Yeah.
at the prison.
just another trash fire. It's Hawaiian night. I mean, that's when...
I wouldn't be shocked with
Yeah.
how loosey-goosey this place is.
But I say that because the other guard runs in and goes, the warden's coming back tomorrow, and he's coming back from Hawaii.
he's like, oh,
God.
shit, sound the zero alarm.
Also, did you expect the warden to come back with a lei around his neck? Like he had a
That would've
good
been
time,
awesome.
right? And the assistant warden, Cyclops, stands like, oh no, not the warden! And so then Ricky somehow overcomes the death blow by basically getting a flashback from his uncle, and he's like, Ricky, don't be a puss, man. Come on.
I need you to nut up right now. Well, Rogan was flirting with him right before that happened. He's like, a man looks his best right before he's about to die, especially a man like you. You're looking really cut.
And that's when he's like, nope. And then he just kind of gets up and he's like, oh, okay. And I think Rogan even says something like he's impressed, but he's like, yeah, but you will be dead in the morning.
Yeah,
So,
don't
like-
worry about that. And then he starts hulking up.
And then, you know what? This has become a fucking handicap match, dude, because the
in
other two
runs
guys...
Bryden with his knitting needles.
Yeah, and there comes frickin' Tarzan. The whole
Yep.
gang's here.
And they bind Ricky up with these harpoons. And
this makes no sense, though, is that Cyclops Dan ends everything. They got him. They're going to take care of
Yeah.
Ricky right now. But Cyclops Dan is like, everybody back in their cells. Everybody right now get back in your cells.
he's trying to get some order here. Everything's going off the rails here. Everything's going
I mean, they just
pear-shaped.
can't put two in his head right then and there.
Well, then he goes,
Well,
turn on
Tarzan-
the machine guns. And
Well,
there's
'cause
these fucking turrets that start
Yeah.
shooting at everybody.
Well, Bryden and Rogan were about to execute him when he was bound up, but Tarzan complained that he hasn't had a chance to fight this bastard yet.
Ugh, that's their own fucking fault.
And
So
at
it's
this
just the Three Stooges.
Yeah.
Like they all start fighting each other too soon.
And then these turrets come on and just start shooting, and like everybody could die at this point.
like staff and prisoners just start fucking cheesing it.
yeah,
because there's
everybody's
bullets flying.
getting down on the ground. And Warden's like, get back in your cells and get everybody back. So then we cut to now Ricky's.
But Tarzan, as he mentioned earlier, wants to get a taste.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
And
he's
so he
getting his
drags
taste.
him into a cell so they're alone together, mano a mano, and goes, "Let's do this right now."
Now you say cell. What type of fucking cell is this? Like, there's a lot of weird cells in this prison.
Yeah.
So this one, there's a lot of like Willy Wonka type of
Yeah.
death trap rooms.
Because
in this
out of
prison.
nowhere, oh shit, it's a trap cell,
It's like a saw room cell.
and it's filling up with cement.
Yeah, that time where Carrie Elwes was in the room and it filled up with cement.
Yeah.
But
That Saw 5 The Revenge.
I'd say that sounds perverse. But yeah, it's filling up with cement, and then Ricky breaks his bindings and jumps through the door like Duke from Spookies.
And
Like the door's just made of paper at the end of an American Gladiators challenge.
Also, why would Tarzan want to fight in the cement room?
I don't think
Of all
Tarzan
rooms,
actually
man.
knew that it was a cement room.
He's like, oh shit, wrong cell.
I think he also was like, oh, god damn it.
But then Ricky takes Tarzan with him because he also wants a taste, right?
Well, and
They didn't
Ricky's
get their fight.
Ricky's a do-gooder. He's not going to cause the death of somebody except for the people he's already killed.
Well, I mean, no. That's the thing is Ricky has to cause the death, not just
He's
let
like,
it happen.
Whoa.
Yeah,
I'm
he's
not
like,
going to let
yeah.
the environment kill you.
No stage fatalities for Ricky.
No.
Okay, he's doing it himself, and so then he's like, he's walking with Tarzan over his shoulders. They're both covered in cement.
The cement is hardening as he works his way up the stairs to get to the assistant warden.
And yeah, Cyclops Dan's just standing at the top of the stairs, and he's like, "Hey, how you doing, Ricky?" And he's like, "Don't worry, he's covered in cement. Pretty soon that'll come into play."
And Ricky has the last bit of the evidence that there was
in
an
his mouth.
opium operation. He's got the poppy leaf in his mouth.
They should have him like overdose at this point. Just full on like 8-ball to the fucking heart, just tripping out.
I was hoping that once the cement had hardened and he fell back on the stairs, he'd shatter like the T-1000.
I thought that was going to happen to Tarzan.
Oh,
like
same.
for sure. But no, they both just fall down, and then the assistant warden says, and this is really weird. Cyclops Dan walks up to him. He goes, "All right, roll out the red carpet for the warden, and we'll take care of Riki-Oh later." I'm like, "But you got him now.
That's been a constant problem in this.
Just kill him. Kill
But
him
yeah.
right now."
So they dispose of the evidence that they're of the leaf, and they go, "Somebody wash off Tarzan."
And so then the red carpet has been rolled. This is so great.
And everyone's tired because apparently the wardens kept everybody waiting in the heat all day. At
They
attention.
have literally rolled out a red carpet for the warden. And yes, they waited so long that everybody fell asleep in a big heap, right? And so long as then all of a sudden, and not only them, the guys outside, everybody in the whole prison fell asleep. Even the frickin' guys in the guard towers looking at the the security cameras, everything.
So anyone can leave at this point because no one's fucking awake.
Well, anybody can leave at any time.
That's true.
And so then finally some guy goes, "The warden's coming, the warden's coming." And everybody wakes up and they're like, "Oh my God." And they all get ready. The warden pulls up, and guys, we get the introduction of my favorite character in this movie.
The warden's shitty kid.
Oh, man.
Kim
Now, you were
Jong-il
talking
and
about
Un?
a spinny
Yeah.
hat.
It's Kim Jong-un.
And ill, yeah.
It really is
Yeah.
Kim Jong.
But the warden,
is-
first of all, is dressed like Judge Doom from Roger Rabbit.
He is.
Oh, absolutely.
Spot
Christopher
on.
Lloyd, Robert Zemeckis.
I don't know. I think that might have been like a year
It
earlier.
came out before.
89? Yeah,
I
was
think
like
it did,
88
yeah.
or 89, yeah.
Riki-Oh,
89.
you hat.
Yeah, 89.
But yeah, go on about the shitty kid, though.
Okay, so the warden gets out looking like Christopher Lloyd from Roger Rabbit, right? And then this son, as I put like Augustus Gloop, basically,
The shorts and the socks.
he really is Kim Jong Un. Like he rocks out. He's a portly young man. He's supposed to be like a child, but it's played by like a guy in his 20s.
It's just I think they got the guy in his 20s so the kid can look cartoonishly obese.
Yeah.
He's wearing the most bizarre outfit of like these little short shorts, and like he should have a spinny hat on. And the dubbing for this is like, "Hee hee, father," and he's running around.
He pulls his gum out of his mouth and he puts it on the assistant warden's forehead.
Yeah, he sticks it on Cyclops' head, and he's just is like, you got to deal with the kid. And then he goes, "Hee hee, father," and he runs up the red carpet and he trips.
Oh shit! He just like face plants.
And the
hard.
warden, this is when you find out, dude, he does not fuck around. As he spins around, he goes, "Who put this carpet out?"
You know, this just happened with Vladimir Putin at a hockey game.
What?
Yeah, Vladimir Putin played a hockey game recently, like a public exhibition.
I heard about how many goals he scored.
He scored 8 goals because obviously you're not going to be the guy to block a shot from Vladimir Putin. And the
They
video,
pulled the goalie the whole
yeah,
game.
the video is amazing because you see like the second the puck gets into his possession, every guy just kind of whistles and skates away like nope, But then he's taking a victory lap after he dominated the game, and he skates onto a carpet on the ice and falls right on his face.
Oh, somebody
and immediately
died.
2 guys skate over and help him up, like, "Sir, are you okay? Oh my god!"
Somebody died.
No question. No question. Like, someone is dead now because of
the
that.
warden's like, "Who put this carpet out?" And Cyclops Dan is like, "This prisoner did it, sir." And
he just pulls a guy.
puts him on his knees, and the warden comes over and just fucking pokes this dude's eyes out with a cane, with one of his eyes out with a cane. It's fucking crazy.
Jams it right in his face.
And then the next thing we see is that the warden and Cyclops Dan are in a meeting.
And he goes, "What the hell happened while I was gone?"
I like this. He goes, "So what's going on at the prison?" And
Well,
Cyclops Dan is kind of like,
Some prisoners died.
Yeah, because the way he says, he's like, no, it's good and all. I mean, there's some prisoners that are dead.
And the warden's like, we need our prisoners. This is our labor force. You
Oh,
can't have prisoners dying.
Oh, yeah, no, I know. And also the opium's gone.
What?
But how was your trip to Hawaii, sir? Did you get laid? And
But while he's trying to change the subject, the warden starts having a panic attack. He's having chest pains.
He's going
like,
Sanford
I need
and
my
Son.
medicine.
He's going fully. He's like, oh, God, it's the big one. Elizabeth, the ticker.
You hear me coming? And so they bring him his pills, and I don't know if you guys caught this, but it's literally a jar of Mike and Ike's, like to represent his medication.
Oh, you make me hungry for Mike and Ike's.
It's just like a mason jar full of the multicolored candy. God. But that's his pills, and they calm him back down.
Yeah. And then the next thing we see, he's fine, by the way. And so Ricky's now tied up in a cell. Like, he's chained to the ceiling of the cell. Like, there's two chains coming from the ceiling. He's chained up.
And he's still covered in dry cement.
Yes, and he's in, like, a crucified position, right? And then the warden, his son, and Cyclops Dan come into the room. And they're like, oh, so this is the guy you've been telling me about, huh? Riki-Oh. And then he just fucking breaks out of that cement.
And grabs the warden through the bars, and he's about to take him out, but then suddenly Tarzan Kool-Aids into the cell.
Yeah.
Just, oh, yeah.
Were you hoping he was going to do the fucking Swayze and rip his throat out?
Oh,
I was like,
totally.
here it comes, dude, Roadhouse. But no, yes, Tarzan fucking Kool-Aids, like you said, through the cell, the
And immediately
brick wall.
just, throws Ricky down, stands on his neck, and the warden takes a seat to watch this.
Also, there's a part, so when Ricky grabs the warden by his throat, he says, I've waited for you my whole life. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
that's a weird moment.
What?
Yeah.
I'm like,
Waiting.
is this another thing that happened off screen? Or like, what's going on?
Yeah, I
man?
don't know that part either.
I'm like, he really doesn't like opium. Like, he's a big, like, for some reason, Ricky's real against drugs, dude. We never got into that subplot. But no, they get in a big fight.
Yeah,
right?
Warden sits down and goes, he doesn't have my permission to die yet, so he wants him to take his time with him. And so Tarzan bends the bars around Ricky's hands and then starts pushing his face against the bars.
He's like gotten him in a stocks, basically,
Yeah.
right?
And they mention off screen, Tarzan used to open coconuts this way, but when he's pushing his face against the bars.
Yeah.
And the son is just dancing around going, hee 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 hee. Just
Yeah, and
over
it gets
over.
precariously close because you see Riki-Oh's like eyes start bulging. I'm like, whoa, this is like really intense. Like, are they really going to go for it here?
It's the big one.
Yeah.
Be a weird midway through the movie, Riki-Oh just gets popped. Like, who's this movie about now?
But you know what? It doesn't happen because Riki-Oh's super strength comes into
right.
play.
And he bursts out of his bindings. And Tarzan goes to punch him, and he punches him in the fist.
Oh, well, is this before?
No, he hits him in the arm. He catches his fist and then punches out his elbow,
Yeah.
which explodes his elbow out. So his arm's fucked. It's gone now. It's like when RoboCop gets his hand blown off. And then he goes for the uppercut, and off goes Tarzan's jaw.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
Beautiful.
completely fucking flies off.
And the warden's shitty kid screams from the back of the room. And
This is like a little much for the kid to take at this point.
oh,
It's
he's
like,
having a hard time.
Daddy.
So Tarzan's still fighting, goes to punch with his other fist, and that's when Riki-Oh punches that fist.
Oh, man.
Like the boxing gloves in Rocky IV
Yeah.
coming together, and his hand explodes.
I love that.
And then the shitty kid in the background makes like a wah, like Wario. And so, and so...
Are we going to get this kid as a downloadable character in Mario Kart?
Oh, I'd love that. He's
Warden's son.
And Tarzan's fucked. He's a mess. He hits the ground, and a blood-covered Ricky turns and goes, "We're human beings!"
And then you know
You're
what?
clearly not.
Guys, they
Yeah.
picked the other weird cell. This is the one that has the trash compactor roof.
right.
Yeah, this weird hydraulic press starts coming
what
down.
the fuck is going on? Why? I just wrote, why would they ever need this cell?
I don't get it.
Interrogation room, quick, long, excruciating execution.
The ceiling collapse on a cell,
Yeah.
and you're going to kill a man by putting a concrete ceiling on him.
Well, how do you think they got rid of all the homeless in New York?
Well, that's
How do
true.
you clean it up?
But
yeah,
De
of course-
Blasio!
But of course, Ricky catches the ceiling and he's holding it up. He's with his super strength, and so they start tasing him.
yeah. The warden comes up with the stun gun. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
and
he
he falls
tases
down.
the bars, which somehow can conduct electricity into
I guess there's
cement.
metal going through the ceiling too.
I guess.
Just roll with it. So yeah, Riki-Oh falls, and it's certainly going to be his
So
doom.
when lightning strikes cement, it just lights the whole town on fire? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've seen it happen.
Oh, perfect.
Oh, okay.
And so he's about to get squashed in this prison, but suddenly, we had a face turn.
Yeah, because I think Tarzan's still mad he didn't get a real taste. You know?
Yeah, that's gotta be it.
He only got the appetizer. He didn't get the full meal.
Because
He's ready to go.
The ceiling jams as it's coming down. He looks over, and what's left of Tarzan is like holding it up with his neck.
Yeah, it's pretty disturbing as he's like, Ricky, dude.
And he goes, "Hey, I'll see you later, Ricky."
Well, okay. He pulls it up enough so Ricky can jump through the bars, which I guess he could have just done to begin with, as he just leaps through it.
The thing you realize as this movie progresses is Ricky could leave at any time.
Yeah.
It's true. And there
He's
is a
just sorta
piece of
hanging out.
IMDb trivia that I just fucking got so mad at, where somebody's like, no, the reason he doesn't do this is because he needs to get more strength. I'm like, shut the fuck up.
No.
He could have done it the whole time. So he jumps through the cell door, right? Mm-hmm. And then he turns around as Tarzan is about to die, and he says, I'll see you later, dude.
And then the thing comes down, squish, and like out pops a picture of Tarzan's family at home.
And Ricky picks it up.
Like
and
Johnny Cage leaving the autograph after he fought Scorpion.
And he picks it up and he turns to the warden and he goes, he had a family.
That man has a
Out
family.
of everyone here, yeah.
Yeah, we all have families.
We're human beings.
We're human beings, dude. And the warden's
Like,
like,
I know I
yeah.
just killed him anyway,
Yeah.
but this man had a family.
Like I said,
He could have
Ricky's-
gone home to his family with no arms and no jaw.
And like I said, Ricky's upset because he didn't do it himself.
Yeah.
He died stage fatality. He's like, you didn't even let me finish him myself, man. Come on. And the warden's like, yeah, I don't know. Ricky, can you stand right there for me? Go ahead.
And he
Move,
goes,
can you move up just a little to the left?
Yeah, sure thing. So anyway, you bastard!
Yeah, oh, God, trapdoor.
Oh, God. Trapdoor opens to
Yeah,
the
Ricky,
floor.
you want to yell and all, but go to the left. Thank you.
Oh, right. Sorry. Yeah, sorry. As I was
It's
saying,
like the Mr. Burns office thing.
and so they go summon all the prisoners tomorrow.
Again, it's a cement trapdoor, by the way. The trapdoor is like a piece of cement that goes like. And so then the warden has Ricky tied up in a big hole outside, and basically he does this like speech. They set up a stage for him and everything. There's all this dirt around Ricky, right? And he goes, "All right, everybody, welcome to the show. Every prisoner in this prison is going to have to take a turn. We're all going to bury Ricky alive."
So everyone has to shovel some dirt on it.
And we're all going to get dirt on our hands, literally. Because you're all going to bury him for me, right?
So here's how this works. If Ricky can last 7 days in this hole with one air tube sticking up, he's a free man.
So as Tanner told us, this is like a Jewish funeral.
Is that how
Because he said that all the guests have to take a turn throw dirt in it. Huh.
And if the guy comes back from the dead in 7 days, he's free to go.
So who knew Ricky was Jewish?
Oh,
All this hey,
revelation.
shalom, Ricky.
All right.
there you go.
Positive.
And so the plan is that they're going to bury Ricky alive. Now, however, they didn't dig a pit. They just kind of are just going to pile dirt on him, right? Which is a weird burial.
Yeah.
And then they're
and
giving
each guy,
him,
as he comes up, is like, "I'm really sorry, Ricky."
yeah, as they throw a little dirt on him, which is going to take a lot of guys
Yeah.
to do this. And they
Well,
at
multiple
one-
trips around.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Cyclops Dan at one point says, "Oh, here's your breathing tube," and he just hands him a big piece of bamboo.
Just a big bamboo rod.
Yeah. And so Ricky's going to be under this dirt, and yes, if he lasts 7 days, the warden says, I'll consider him a free man.
And so we cut to the nighttime, and everyone's sad. All the the extras, but suddenly in the distance, my God, they hear Ricky's flute.
Yeah. Oh my God, he brought a leaf with him.
Is he down there playing? Is he down there blowing a leaf?
Ricky's playing with his flute again.
Jesus, we can't even bury him. He still can't keep his hands off it. And
He wants to go out with a smile.
so we're gonna deal with that shit. Rogan suddenly bursts up out of the water pipe and kicks a dog in half.
Yeah, we should say a dog's very interested. Where
Sniffing
this
around.
dog came from?
It's one of prison dogs, right?
I guess.
Turns out those are there. Or their dog wandered into the prison because the gate's open.
It's like when you're in a video game and you just have the random dog enemies, like it's Resident
Like
Evil 2 or
Wolfenstein?
some
Yeah.
shit. Yeah, or Wolfenstein. Yeah, you're right. Rogan pops out of the ground in his sewer entrance, as he always does.
Yeah.
Fucking kicks his dog right in half.
And so we find out why.
Why you
Because-
kicked a dog in half?
Yeah, we grabbed some of the insides of this dog, some dog meat, if you
Jesus.
will, and jams the bamboo, stuffs it in the breathing tube.
Yeah. And he's like,
Last time I heard someone jam the bamboo.
And Rogan walks away going, looks like he's going to need a plumber. But then suddenly in the background, the tube splits.
Oh.
Just cracks open.
Ricky's playing with this flute again.
We knew it. And
Hands above the covers.
we cut underground, and Ricky is meditating. He's focusing his Chico, but he's got the dog meat in his mouth.
And he flashes back to the scene, guys. Now we
God.
know why he's in prison. We flash back to his girlfriend walking through a park at night. She sees some dudes just shooting up drugs.
Bunch of junkies, man.
This is so funny. It's the cleanest, most well-lit park, right? In the middle of Hong Kong, apparently. And she's like, what, are they doing drugs over there? And then before she even gets a real good look, some guy grabs her by and he's like, ha, ha, ha! And he takes her back to the drug lair, right? So he takes her to drug house. This kind of looks like where the Hong Kong PD were in Robotrics.
I think so. This is
you
where
know?
they set up
Yeah.
their operation.
Totally.
If you open
Biggest
the
in
other
Vegas.
room, yeah, it would be the Yip room. And so he's like, haha, I got you now. And I guess he's going to rape her or something. But she runs out of the room,
To the
runs to the roof, and then, like a fucking cartoon,
A department
just-
store mannequin.
just keeps running
Yep.
off the roof. And
Like
just,
she should have run, the toes should have gone, and then she
Yeah.
looked down and went, "Ah!"
like, it's almost like she didn't know. She just runs off the roof. And then this dummy work, by the way, is incredible.
the best.
Is it just a flat fall face first onto the cement, and then you're just like, oh man, she dead. So Ricky's girlfriend killed herself by running off a roof because she thought she was going to get raped by a bunch of drug dealers.
I mean, I'd rather that than actually watch a rape scene.
oh, absolutely.
I'm fine with this.
So then we see Ricky at the morgue. He doesn't do one of his infamous screams to the heavens. Instead, he just kind of like rips his shirt and goes, he's running out for a revenge. So then this drug boss, right? The guy who, he didn't throw her off the roof or anything, but coerced her, I guess, into it. He's walking out of a club. He's got two new ladies, right? And then Ricky goes, hey, you, hold it right where you are. And the guy turns around and he goes, what's your problem, huh? And then takes out a gun and just starts shooting him right in the
And
chest.
that's where Ricky got the 5 bullets.
That's
in his
right.
body.
Uh-huh.
But Ricky just ignores the 5 bullets like he's Billy Jack.
Dude, fucking bulletproof, man. Nick Cage Con Air style.
And he runs up and he punches a dent in his head.
Yeah, he kicks his leg in half. Like he shatters
just
his
kicks
fucking
his
shin.
knee and just breaks it backwards. So he's got like one dinosaur leg.
And then he has a dent in his head. And he's laying down, and I was like, this was manslaughter?
Yeah.
He accidentally broke his leg
I
and
was
then
like,
punched a dent in his face.
Ricky, you kind of got off easy, dude. That's murder. Like, I don't know. The dent in the head must have been something else, you know?
That's when they put him in the cop car.
And,
And then he died.
What was the witness that told on Riki-Oh? The other guy shot him first, dude.
Was it-
Self-defense.
Was it this
Come
guy's
on.
girls?
I guess, but it was self-defense. He has the fucking bullets to prove it. So then the prisoners are out in the yard. It rained
It
last
turns
night,
out we
right?
had that flashback for 7 days.
Yes.
Because the 7 days are up.
And it rained a lot, dude.
I wish I was keeping track with all the flash forwards and the time jumps, because I think we're seriously like a month later from the beginning of this movie.
And they're all worried about Ricky. Like, today's the big reveal. They pull in the backhoe, and this thing fucking comes in and just... It barely even has to dig, because, again, it was just a pile of dirt. And then they pull Ricky out by the chains, right? And he's hanging up on the backhoe. And they're like, is he okay? Oh, God, he's dead. Oh, no, he's fine. Boom! Breaks out of the chains.
Just like nothing.
Yep.
And he's just like, yeah, I'm back.
And Rogan's like, God damn it! Runs in and fights him.
Also, by the way, he's supposed to be a free man at this point. That
Oh
was
man,
the,
they were lying.
that was the deal. You don't make a deal with the dirty Warden, I
Never,
guess.
never. Especially when he's your father.
And then so, oh, by the way, because this is so funny. You say Rogan shows up. Well, the backhoe starts a fight with Ricky because it nudges him from behind and he falls down. I'm like, oh shit, is he gonna fucking fight this backhoe? Because I
Oh man,
cannot wait.
The
for that
backhoe's gonna
fight scene.
transform into a
Dude.
Decepticon.
Fucking Mortal Kombat downloadable
Yes.
character, the backhoe from Riki-Oh.
Just going across the screen.
Slow motion.
But
Just
no,
a guy driving a backhoe.
Rogan pops out from it, and there's this. There's gonna be a fight, right? Then the Warden, Cyclops Dan, and the two bosses. All right, I don't know. They've taken like one of those kid merry-go-rounds at a park, and they've put like some rebar into it.
Yeah.
and they've like
Yeah.
somehow. This is very confusing how
It's
they
like
got
some
Riki-Oh
kind of
in this.
Clive Barker fantasy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you know what? They got this straight from that fucking Cenobite world, Chris. Like,
I
they
think so.
pulled it out You know,
Because he's
Yeah.
in this rebar trap where if he bends his head in any direction too far, he gets a rebar to the neck.
But also, like, how do you get him in this?
Tarzan's dead. So
yeah,
who the hell is
exactly.
bending
Like,
these
what the
pipes?
fuck? And so
All right,
then-
everybody, in a circle.
I think the backhoe does turn into a robot.
So the bosses beat him up for a while, and
I mean, they don't just beat him up. Bryden, which is the name of the harpoon guy, comes in with this like cartoonishly large wrench
yeah, and he's
and starts
smacking
wailing
him in
on
the
him
face.
with it.
And that's when
And they put razor blades in his mouth
and tape it shut,
and then
Like,
start wailing on him until the razor blades are sticking through his cheeks.
That was rad.
Yeah.
Then the warden comes over. He's like, "All right, have you had enough?" And he
Spits them all out.
Yeah.
Just fucking like a jet stream, and just straight in his
Just
face.
like
It's really
machine
cool.
guns, a bunch of razor blades.
And now he looks like a Cenobite.
And this at one point, the warden goes, "I want to know your secret." I'm like, "What secret? What
how
is-
are you able to do this?
Ancient
going
Chinese secret,
on?
Mike. He wants to
It's
know.
basically what it comes down to.
He's like, "What? You never heard of Chico? How do you think fucking Tarzan does it? dude?
Hey,
He
yo.
also had super." Hey yo,
Never heard of Chico.
Hey.
Let's take a survey.
get that Ramon character in here. You know, I think Razor Ramon's backstory is he's from a Hong Kong prison. Actually,
That's where he got
Yeah.
hardened. He went from Miami to Hong Kong,
Hardened.
despite not being Cuban or Chinese.
So
That was the worst thing, by the way, when you grow up and you realize Razor
Yeah.
Ramon wasn't even Hispanic.
Oh, that's a bummer.
He's just a white dude from the Midwest named Scott.
Scott Hall.
It's kind of fucked up,
is.
actually, that he keeps doing the Scarface accent.
So Ricky's in a cell wrapped in chains, right? Because they really got to lock him down, man, right? And another prisoner delivers him food, right?
Yeah, this character's name is Freddy. He's like the nice guy prisoner. Who
I call him
loves-
Freddy the Food Man.
Freddy the Food Man. He sneaks him some rice on a plate, and when Ricky eats the rice, he sees that they've written on the bottom of the plate, "Don't give up."
Yeah, and he also says to him, he goes, "Ricky, you're our only hope."
And so
He really does, by the way. He says you're their only hope.
So I guess they found out because the next day you see the assistant warden dragging Freddy's dummy down the hall by his face.
Yeah, he hooked him like a fish,
Like
right?
the fisherman from I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Because the bald goon had told
That
him,
same
right?
fucking
That
guy. If he's
fucking
not doing
fake.
if he's not doing upper deckers, he's ratting on people.
And so they come to Ricky's cell to deliver him the quote present. Because they also go, they're like, "Ricky, we got a surprise for you. You're gonna love this present."
But
And
Ricky's
they-
not in his cell.
Oh my God, the chains are on the ground. Where is he?
And then
This whole thing's like a Jesus parable.
it is 3 days
Yeah.
later he's disappeared from his cell like Jesus.
Yeah,
But
remember
they
that
pan
time
up
the
and,
Romans came into Jesus' tomb and he was just hiding on the ceiling?
Yeah, that's the crazy part. Ricky's on the ceiling like Spider-Man.
He is, yeah.
He's like, time to flee to Spain.
And then the assistant, the bald guy, they walk into the room. Yeah, Ricky comes down from the ceiling and punches the bald dude's head in half.
He doesn't even look at him. He just picks him up by the throat and punches the top of his head off.
And apparently, in the trivia, you can find out that they used a pig's brain.
No
For his
shit.
brain, yeah.
Wow.
Oh god.
And a piece of styrofoam. Looks like where the
Yeah.
the head thing is.
Shit.
And then he goes over to the assistant warden and he hits him in the mouth so hard that his good eye pops out.
Yeah.
Now this is where a problem happens for me because now he's supposed to be blind.
No, dude,
Right.
robot eye.
I guess so.
Yeah.
I guess the mint eye has a camera
Powered
that
by
he can see
mints,
with.
dude.
Because
I still have a problem with that, though.
he acts blind for a moment, but then for the from like a minute or two from now on, he can see again.
Yeah, robot eye. Have you ever seen Robotics?
That settles
or-
that. And so it's a state of emergency now.
And Ricky's also really sad that Freddy Foodman died. He's like really cut up about it. He's like, "Freddy, we only knew you for 2 minutes, but I knew you my whole life, dude. I loved you." And so the prisoners all gang up on Cyclops Dan.
Yeah, Cyclops Dan is taken off blind down the hall. He falls down the stairs because he can't see. And so where did these prisoners get these weapons?
You know,
Because
this
one
prison.
breaks a bottle and jams it in his neck, and then another guy takes a pickaxe and
Who's
takes his
giving
arm
bottles out in a prison,
off.
right?
Who's having a drink?
It was Reaper Float Day.
And so they cut his fucking
With a pickaxe.
fucking arm off, basically.
Where was this?
And it's spraying blood everywhere.
Yeah, it's insane.
And these riot cops show up. They're like, "Okay, we've had enough fun here
these look
today."
like the troops from Escape from the Bronx.
They really do.
They're dressed just like them.
And they run in and they're like, "All right, guys, we've all had enough fun." And then Ricky comes down and kills one of them. They're like, "All right, bye."
What's funny is when the SWAT team comes in, they all just start beating up one guy.
Yeah,
They just grabbed one of the guys in the riot and start whooping his ass.
They all just come in, hup, 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 hup. Ricky kills one guy.
And the way he
Hup,
kills
hup,
him is
hup,
pretty
hup, hup,
rad
hup.
though, because Ricky punches through his riot shield.
Yeah, and they're like,
That
no,
was fucking badass.
no, we're leaving. And they all run out. And that's when Ricky demands that Cyclops Dan bring him and the prisoners to the Warden. He's like, I want to see this motherfucker.
And so where is the Warden? We cut to the kitchen.
Oh,
and,
this
he's overlooking
incredible.
He's overlooking the meal plan for the week. He doesn't know what's going on outside yet.
Who's the taste tester? Augustus Gloop himself.
Of course, sitting in his PJs.
Yeah.
And he's explaining that.
And you say PJs. He's got like the fucking hat with the little doily
he
on
looks
it.
like the sleepy bear from the motel.
Yeah.
There's that Nightmare Before Christmas character. The
He
big
does.
round guy.
Yeah, he does.
Not him,
Yeah.
But there's like a kid in that movie character in Christmas Town. And he goes like, "Woo!" when that yellow snake chases after him.
He looks like Scrooge was wearing in Christmas Story.
Yes.
You know, like he's got the fucking hat on with the little doily on it. I love that touch, right? By the way, all matching. Because he's always got the stripes on and
it's
everything.
fabulous.
And he's tasting
really
the food.
an eye for fashion, this kid.
And he's like,
And he's liking it. But the Warden is like, this is too large of a portion, though, what they're planning for the meals with the head of the kitchen, the head chef of the prison. And he's like, you know what, from now on, we're going to have all the prisoners' meals. Just take half of it away.
And he takes it away from his son. He's like, no, Daddy. And he's all upset about it.
And one of the guys in there, one of the prisoners, I guess, who works the kitchen, starts muttering about it. Like,
He says, he's like, yeah, they should have more meat.
And he goes, oh, you want more meat, do you? And so he grabs the guy and jams his arm in the meat grinder.
Yeah, and that's when we actually do become the movie Dead Alive.
Yeah.
Because this meat grinder
Holy
is
fuck,
just
man.
like that goddamn lawnmower in Dead Alive.
It's insane. Blood spraying everywhere. And, like, from his arm, he makes, like, 6 pounds of ground beef.
I mean, this thing,
on a
like,
tray.
the
Feed a
amount...
prison with that meat that came out of him.
The amount of blood that squirts out of this thing is just so obscene. Do you think that's what happened when they put just like a side of beef in there too? It just goes like,
Man, we've got to get a new grinder. This is not acceptable.
Somebody put a lid on this thing, man.
I've seen the meat department at Whole Foods. It's nothing like that. It's disappointing.
It's real letdown.
When they throw the whole cow in it and just...
You just hear the bell ringing.
It gets stuck. Yeah, it's like bouncing around.
And so this is interrupted when the assistant warden flies through the wall.
Yes, yeah, he flies through the wall. Ricky and the boys are here. They
explain, sir, there's been a riot.
Okay. Now, the warden has these things. I guess they'll call them balloon bullets.
He calls it an elephant gun, which is not how an elephant gun works, but he has exploding rounds.
Okay, but you say exploding. It blows you up like the girl in Willy Wonka, right?
Because they say, sir, there's been a riot. And the warden just goes, all right, I guess I'll kill you all then.
Violet's turning violet.
And he shoots a guy with it. Yeah, and the guy starts to go and expand like the guy in Big Trouble in Little China.
Cyclops Dan fucking Willy Wonka's his way out of here, but instead of just becoming big and having Oompa Loompas roll him off, he fucking explodes.
Just boom.
So good night, Cyclops Dan, dude.
Champagne rap on Cyclops Dan.
Yeah, they threw some Gatorade on the parts that were left.
But then in cartwheels Rogan and goes, who wants to die first? And then a harpoon comes through the wall. There's Brandon.
And there's this big fight that ensues, right?
And some of the boys start escaping through with the dumbwaiter from the kitchen.
Oh, and I love this, is that one of the guys gets in one of them, right? And he goes to the son, the warden's son. He goes, push that button. It's really fun. And he pushes it, and the warden's like, oh, come on! What the fuck? But he does, when one of the other guys tries to run away. Oh, no, I'm sorry.
We'll get to that.
Yeah.
Well, not yet. So Rogan, once again, because they're evenly matched as fighters, starts fighting Ricky. And Ricky plays it smart, though, because Ricky actually can't seem to best Rogan one-on-one. Rogan keeps knocking him out. And so he backs against a big tank of liquid nitrogen they keep in the kitchen. Because they're doing molecular gastronomy in here.
Yeah.
Well, it's really fancy uptown shit they're
We've got to
doing.
make the ice cream somehow.
Right. And missed kick, the foot goes right into the liquid nitrogen.
And Ricky takes advantage of that and punches his leg clean off.
Shatters it. And meanwhile,
by the way, Ricky at one point gets liquid nitrogen all over his back.
Oh, his back,
It has no effect.
Yeah, fuck that.
Oh, it's Ricky.
just a little cold.
Yeah.
But
You guess what they said on set? They're like, wouldn't that hurt? It's Ricky. Nothing hurts the kid.
So seeing this go down, Bryden decides he's had enough of this shit, so he tries to escape in the dumbwaiter. And the warden is pretty upset about this. He's like, he's not going to have cowards on his watch. And so he actually shoots him with the elephant gun
Right
as
in
he's
the
getting
ass.
in the dumbwaiter.
Now, are you guys also
expands his ass.
fucking pissed off that like Duke Nukem never had this gun? Like, what the fuck,
Yeah.
dude? I want the
Of all the
goddamn
things Duke
balloon
Nukem
gun.
did
Yeah.
rip off,
He
I
had a
wish the
shrinking
creators
gun.
had watched this movie.
Yeah, I mean, please. Like, I need a first-person shooter that has this type of bullet in
Though
it.
also, I got to mention Mortal Kombat 2, Kiss of Death, Katana.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Same movie that had the head clap.
So then
true.
Warden tells a guard to take his son back to his room. I like this. He goes, all right, I don't want my son to see this. Take him back to his room. He's like, Daddy. And so then Warden and Ricky have this fight.
And this is great. The warden goes, the warden of a prison has to be the very best at kung fu. And then he...
Which is, I believe, a requirement for all prisons.
Yeah.
Just, John Vernon in Chain Heat.
Oh, yeah. John Vernon had the same kung fu abilities as his
Absolutely.
warden. I would have loved that of just him like, all right.
You imagine the director being like, all right, John, and you also know kung fu. He's like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, okay. I'm the best at kung fu.
Like John Vernon in the Matrix. Yeah, I know kung fu now, I guess.
Yeah, whatever.
Morpheus is like, you want to get in a fight, John?
Oh, God, Morpheus is
whatever.
explaining the Matrix. What if I told you? It does the whole thing. He's like, well, whoop-de-goddamn.
Yeah, give me
to
the
do.
other pill.
Yeah,
Shut
this
the
is just,
fuck up.
Y'all trying to fuck with me. You want me to leave the Force? That's all this is. There's no Matrix. I'm not going to fall for it this time. Go fuck an iceberg.
Yeah.
But
He just tells Morpheus to go fuck an iceberg, takes the other pill, and goes back.
he's eating a steak with Joey Pants.
But you're the chosen one, John.
Yeah, choose this. But so Riki-Oh, hearing about how great at kung fu the warden is, just responds by kicking him across the room. And the warden gets up from being kicked and just starts laughing and then starts hulking out.
Oh, dude, for real.
Yeah, like a full on.
Hulk Warden.
Yeah.
This is some wild shit. Turns out that panic attack he had earlier, the pills keep this at bay.
Yeah. or he
Him
becomes
turning into a
some-
giant monster, like 8
Fif-
feet tall, and it's really bizarre because it's this strange rubbery mask he's wearing. He's drooling. He has like a bald head with a skullet.
Yeah, it's really weird, man.
It's a goofy caricature he turns into.
It's like if George Costanza hulked out.
It's happening, Jerry. Wait, that sounded awful. That did not sound like a bass at all. That sounded. Cut that part out.
And then I in this prison. I don't think we're getting out of here. I don't have a Jerry Seinfeld.
Kramer
It's the best I can do.
Kramer just kind of comes through the door and sees the Hulk and just gets right out. You know,
He falls on a block with nails in it.
Says something racist on his way out.
Oh god.
Elaine's cartwheeling out of there. So yeah, Ricky runs up and tries to do his murder punch, and it doesn't do anything.
Holy shit! Well,
His fist
it
bounces.
kind of does because there's one part where Ricky does punch through him, and it's just like totally no sound.
Yeah, like he does the first punch, it doesn't do anything.
Corpse in him.
He gets kicked through one of the pillars of the room, and he starts focusing his Chico. And that's when he finally does the gut punch from earlier. But yeah, the warden doesn't react to it
Nope.
because he can't make facial expressions in this rubber mask.
He's like the fucking ultimate warrior, dude. He just totally no sells this shit like nothing, man.
And he goes, "Don't you get it yet, Ricky? We study the same martial art."
I also know Chico. Me, Moses, and you, Ricky.
And yeah, that's when we get Uncle again popping in with a voicemail.
Yeah, he's like, Ricky.
Use your wits, Ricky. Fight with your brain. And so he goes, okay. Starts thinking about, it's like in the video games when the end boss comes up and they show you the weak points.
Yeah, and it starts blinking red as you get closer to it. Yeah.
And so he starts working the knee. He breaks a leg and he buries a fist in his chest. And then, speaking of the Ultimate Warrior, Ricky picks the warden up over his head like the Ultimate Warrior and then throws him into the meat grinder.
Don't you remember that match where he did that to Triple H?
Oh, yeah.
Threw him in the meat grinder.
That hardcore match was something, dude.
Fuck, man.
And that's why they shifted back to PG. They're like, we went a little too far.
Yeah, can't put any more Triple H in the meat grinder, dude.
That's where he lost his hair.
And by the way, this is so like Dead Alive. It's insane. Like it's.
Love it.
I was just getting like flashbacks to that movie. You know.
Because like his bottom half has already been grinded into a pile of ground beef. His upper half is still choking Ricky. And Ricky starts pushing him down like he's using a juicer. Like when that last bit won't go.
This is like in Fargo when he's trying to get Steve Buscemi all the way through the wood chipper, you know, and he's just pushing him down and down and down, and he gets him down to the head, right?
and then stops there, and he
Ricky
picks up
needs a
this
souvenir,
this
dude.
big stupid rubber head that he's carrying around with him. And
It's like a Guar concert.
oh, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is how every Guar concert
Gorgor
ends.
came out and
Kinda
ate somebody.
That's true. Yeah.
And then so there's a full blown riot going on in the yard, but then suddenly you hear Ricky's voice go, "Stop!"
Okay, apparently, by the way, in this meat grinder scene, the actor who played Riki-Oh said that he was covered in so much fake blood that he could not get it off his skin for 3 days.
Holy shit.
Well, he is completely head to toe
Yeah.
colored red in this scene.
Which, Chris, we know when we used to film videos in high school that when we would use that fake blood, all our friends would be going to school covered in red for
Yeah,
like
that's right.
3 days after a
I've
shoot.
definitely experienced that myself. Even the last time I did like gore makeup for a scene I did, it took me like 4 showers to get that shit out of my face and hair.
Especially if you shave earlier and then you do the scene that gets stuck in your pores even worse.
Yeah.
Too.
I mean, Bobby came into a recording looking like the godson in this movie, dude. His fucking skin was off. It was crazy. You came in skeleton face.
Oh, yeah. And I've
like
had that happen
skeleton
after,
detective from Freddy's Nightmares.
I'll share this one. I don't know if we want to cut this out later, but I once did with my now wife. I did a Little Red Riding Hood and the Big Bad Wolf costume, and I had colored my face to match the fur and the stuff like that. And so my face has dark brown makeup covering every bit of my skin because I was a dark brown wolf. Now we went to a karaoke bar, and I'm really warm at the end because I'd been singing, it'd been warm in there, and so I stripped off most of the stuff and drove home. And so I'm driving home in just a tank top with my face painted.
Yeah, you're like Hellface driving
It
home.
is a problem. I drove home looking like Al Jolson.
Imagine getting pulled over by a cop.
Exactly my thought. I didn't think about it until I was like halfway home in the car going, oh no.
Do you think a cop
Oh
would
no,
just,
if a cop pulled me over.
if he pulled you over, he'd just kind of give you a look and go, all right, on your way.
Well, I think it
I don't
depends-
even want
I think
the
it depends on what
explanation.
city I'm in.
Yeah.
Because I could tell you, like, if I'm driving through Huntington Beach and a cop pulled me over, he'd be like, good one. Got
him. You
and I'm
got
like,
him.
No, I'm not with you, man.
Got him. Just
Stick it to him.
Now drive along. Oh, classic. Wait till the boys hear
he
about
starts
this.
the car for you. Just says, there you go. Put it in.
Right.
Put it in drive.
That's right. Making men great again. Am I right?
I get a police escort home. Don't worry about these red lights. Let's get you home, buddy. Oh man, you made my night. Anyway, I just thought of that now. I haven't thought about that in years.
When you drove home Hellface. I love it.
When I drove home in complete blackface accidentally, it
Oh,
was like
wow.
this is not good. This is a
Of course
problem.
that happens
I
to
need you're searching the car to see if there's like a moist towelette from the car wash laying
God.
around. You're like anything at all.
Oh, Pollo Loco, man. They have them by the gripful.
Every red light, you're just kind of covering your face. Like, oh,
Yeah.
no. So, yeah, there's a big prison riot outside. All the prisoners are fighting the guards. They fight like World War I style. It's like
Yeah.
they both line up on opposite sides, and they're like, and go, battle.
It's a Lamb of God wall of death.
God, yeah.
Like they're opening up the pit for Ricky.
It's Civil War style. Like everybody lines up on their side,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then what?
The
Some
first
guy
line
blows
runs.
some guy blows a trumpet or something like, "Hey, right, and fight everybody!" And they just all run up at
There were
each
rules
other.
back then. No trench warfare here. But yeah, so Ricky yells stop. They all look up and he holds up the head symbolically.
Yes.
I'm the captain now.
And they're like, "Oh shit, man!"
And
He
what's
ripped
funny
off
though
Hulk
is
Warden's
Here's
head.
the thing though about this though. No one at the prison other than Ricky knows that the warden can do this.
Yeah,
So Ricky just held up a fucking monster head. It doesn't
Yeah.
look like the warden.
yeah. They're like, "Did he kill like
They're like, what's that?
Did he
like
get a
Monster
troll?
Costanza or something?
Yeah.
What happened?"
Did he make a paper mache head? What is that? But it's enough to make everyone stop fighting. And Ricky walks over to the prison wall and sure you can.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And we get like the flames around his fist, like Ken from Street Fighter.
Yeah.
And just boom, and the wall just explodes open.
And you can see the strings that pull it away.
you totally
it's just so
do.
good.
The wall to the prison is now gone.
And Ricky turns and goes, "You're all free now."
And they stand inside partying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They stand inside while the
No.
fucking walls are down. And,
And,
they're like, I think it's because the prisoner's like, you know what? This is what we know. Right? Like,
Oh god, they don't want to leave.
yeah. They're also probably like, well,
They just start fixing the wall.
if
They're
we
putting the bricks back.
Are we going to be in trouble if we
Well, because that's the
go?
thing I have in my notes too. Is like it doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
It's not this guy didn't just round you guys up. It's not, you're not like a madman isn't holding you captive. You are prisoners. So
No, dude, I think if you punch through a prison wall and you get out, they're like, no, dude, he made it.
what can we tell the guy?
He beat this game.
Can't really say shit to him. I mean, if he wants to leave, he wants to leave. We
Yeah.
can't hold him here. But yeah, it's like these guys are all getting rounded up and shot if they leave this.
I'm
this
sure
prison
there's
area.
a Burt Reynolds movie where he punches through a prison wall. They're like, well, dude, Gator did it, man. What are we going to do, dude?
Yeah, it'd be one of those. Good one, Gator. If they made a third Gator movie,
Yeah,
that'd be
hell of a punch,
He's
Gator.
like, boom. It's funny. Yeah, I punched that wall.
All right, go on your way, you scamp.
And so yeah, everybody celebrates like they won the big game, and Finn.
Yeah,
Roll
we just roll
credits.
credits. And now, apparently in the manga, after Ricky breaks out of prison, he goes to find his brother.
Yeah.
But we never get that in this shit.
No, like I said, we just focused on one small part of that story. For budgetary reasons, we can keep it in this prison.
Wouldn't it be funny if, like, the guy who wrote the manga goes to watch the movie? He's like, you only did, like, 2 pages?
Yeah.
Damn, dude.
Yeah, like I said at the top of this, it's like all we did with Watchmen is I'm not stuck in here with you. You're stuck in here with me.
Yeah.
Well, it sure felt like that's all they did.
Yeah.
So.
But so I'm sure we'll get an HBO series following the continuing story of
Right.
Riki-Oh.
Yeah.
Can we? Dude, I'm ready,
Oh, I
man.
want a remake of this.
And-
So, I mean, this is recommends all around.
Yeah,
we don't even
totally.
need to go into it. Just
No.
watch this movie. If you haven't seen it before,
It's an all-time for me.
there's
It's
a reason
classic.
the patrons picked it. Even patrons that didn't vote for it are like, oh, I've definitely seen it. You know, everybody was all on board. So.
I think if you
Cool.
like weird cult cinema, this has crossed your path at some point. This has been on your radar. And if you haven't heard of it or haven't seen it, do as
Oh,
quickly
yeah.
as possible.
Fantastic.
There is a Region B Blu-ray that's fantastic.
Oh, cool.
It's got commentaries. It's got
No way.
interviews. It's crystal clear. They really did the upgrade. I don't remember the name of the company because it's not one that I usually get from. It's from another country, but it's worth seeking out. You can find a
Okay.
Region B. My understanding is there isn't a Blu-ray here in the States.
I'm
of it.
amazed Arrow hasn't done anything with that yet.
That would
There's
be a
something
perfect
about
Arrow
this
film.
movie, like, even though it's well known, it's hard to get in the States.
Yeah.
Because, like, I have, like, some sort of bootleg region-free DVD.
And my official DVD that I bought, there was just like one copy in the back of a specialty DVD store,
wow.
that I happened to find in the foreign section.
It must be
Yeah.
something with the rights, because a lot of Hong Kong movies are actually really hard to find. Like, can't find
True.
Robotrix very easily.
Yeah.
Maybe you can find this on Amazon. I mean, I would not be surprised, because you can find a lot of Hong Kong movies on Amazon.
looking
I
up
think
Robotrix
Riki-Oh
right
was
now.
streaming on Netflix for a time,
Okay.
years ago. I
For
don't
some
think it is
reason
now.
You can find them streaming, but buying physical is almost impossible for a lot of Hong Kong movies.
Where did you watch this?
I watched it on YouTube, actually.
Same.
Okay, so it's available there.
Yes. Now, here's the thing: is when you watch it on YouTube, the dubbed version that somebody's uploaded will have the last 10 minutes missing. However, you can go watch the subtitle version, which is the full anamorphic widescreen cut and everything.
Nice.
For the last 10 minutes, you're not missing any dialogue in the last 10 minutes. So.
The subtitles versus the dubbing, the dialogue is a little less ridiculous, weirdly enough, because the dubbing is just out there. But I mean, everything that happens in the movie is so wild, you're still getting the same experience.
So, you guys hear that sound?
Oh boy.
How do you think Bobby
Oh,
and
it's a tough
DeVito would fit in the world of Riki-Oh?
Well, I think that shortly after Ricky walks out that hole, a big yellow van comes crashing back through it. And now there's the gang of 2 for the time being, and they're taking over this place.
Oh, wow.
Well, it's not so much a prison anymore. They're thinking about maybe turning it into a car wash.
Oh, okay. Or maybe they make the prisoners do the car wash.
It's a start.
Bobby, free labor.
It's all privatized. You want to know how he got the money now?
But then eventually they give up because they're like, yeah, there's too many unions and rules and middle management. I don't even know.
That's
I
right.
don't know.
There's too much bureaucracy.
Bureaucracy. You know, how is that never a bureaucracy? Oh man, what do you think, man?
Oh man, I'm still trying to think. All I can do is flash back to the plane scene where they're flying radio-controlled planes, and then you see at a scene this radio-controlled van with wings comes crashing by. It swoops down, and the sliding door opens, and it goes, "Hey," and swoops up Riki-Oh's girlfriend and flies away.
That's who Riki-Oh was really looking for.
Yeah.
Now I think, Bobby, one day was reflecting on some time that he's had. He wants to go visit his father, who recently passed away. He goes to the graveyard in Malibu, and he goes there, and he goes for the trip, and he's sitting down, and he goes to the grave, and there's a strange man there. And he goes, "Mr. Hampton? Yeah? I've been watching you since you were 7, 8 years old. Do you still have those superpowers?
The boner powers?
Yes, Bobby. The boner powers.
Yeah, I do.
Show me.
Oh man, he starts whipping tombstones at his crotch.
Yep. Yeah, he's fucking hoping tombstones and it's going through, dude.
Exploding.
Glory holes all over this fucking thing.
Oh my god.
Why does this tombstone look like Swiss cheese?
And then, guys, as we know, do. Bobby goes around terrorizing Malibu using his powers of Chico Crotch.
Cheek crotch.
Yeah, Chi Crotch. So, guys, you want anything to plug, Chris? You wanted to plug a movie you found out recently that's coming out. That's a Hellface movie.
The what? Oh, God. LaQuisha? Yeah.
Oh Jesus.
I'm not plugging that.
I'm kidding around.
And no one else should either.
So, you guys got anything to talk about?
Will our live show have happened by now?
Yeah, it was great. We had this great live show.
Yeah, May 24th at the Frida Cinema.
Yeah,
By the
Memorial
time you're
Day
hearing
weekend.
this, Memorial
Yeah,
Day
baby.
weekend. Mike and I will have done a live show with our friends at Bombs Away. So you can check that out in their podcast feed. It'll be available as an episode of their show. Mike and I guest starring on Bombs Away, covering 1987's The Running Man.
And man, you remember that joke? You know what I'm talking? Oh my god, right?
I can't believe they didn't throw me out for saying that.
Holy shit!
It is nuts.
Woo! It was a rough night,
Yeah.
dude. I'll tell you that.
I was the running man running from all the shit they were throwing at me.
They had the big, like, the old timey, like, cane trying to pull Bobby off the stage and all that. It was great,
I
man.
almost sunk the whole show. It's embarrassing. So check that out.
And then man doing that run in. My God,
No,
dude.
you guys had me serving popcorn.
Yeah, that's right. You said you'd check it out,
Yeah.
man.
And
you
boy, did he.
Oh boy,
You put us in check. Is
he
what
had
you did.
that cock chicho that night. That's right.
So I think we're gonna finish out our time here at Hong Kong Robocon and then take a plane back home.
Yeah. Also, you can find us at grindhousefilm.com. We're at Twitter at GrindPod. You can find the Grindbin podcast on iTunes and all places where you
Google
can find
Play?
podcasts.
That's another place to listen to it?
Please rate and review us on there if you can. That really helps us.
And as always, word of mouth as well. If you know a friend who might
Yeah.
enjoy this, who likes these kinds of movies, who likes having a good chuckle at a bad film, let them know. That's the best way to spread the word about us.
Anybody that wears a trench coat to a movie theater. There you go.
That's
Exactly.
our target demographic is the trench coat people.
And join our Patreon for as little as $2 a month. You can hear monthly bonus episodes. We had 2 full bonus episodes on the Patreon this month. We had we did Killer Clowns from Outer Space, and we had a full episode with Chris, me, and the McCullum boys.
Amazing episode.
As we did A Night to Dismember.
And it
which,
was.
Man, had you ever
I
seen that
had not
movie?
seen the film, but I loved that episode.
Holy
I'm gonna have to watch
shit.
it now.
Like, the background for that movie is crazy. And it's a Doris Wishman movie, which I don't know if we're ever going to do one of her movies on the regular feed. But the story behind her and her movies and the bizarre story behind A Night to Dismember is one not to miss. And
Yeah.
that's on the Patreon
$2
right
a
now.
month, you can follow that. It's astounding.
You know what? Just
also,
give the $2, listen to the episode, you can cancel right away.
Yeah, we don't care. You don't got to stick around. We all have jobs. But also, we have started our continuing series moving forward where I force Mike to watch every episode of Freddy's Nightmares.
Yes, we're coming back with that. We're going to be offering more bonus full episodes on the Patreon. Like, we called it mini bins, but they ended up
We've begun
being...
doing literal mini bins, as in that they're about an hour shorter than a regular feed episode, and it's a more casual talk about a film rather than a beat-by-beat recap.
Yeah, they're going to start turning into like quickie bins at this point.
Yeah.
And who doesn't like a good quickie once in a while for $2, right?
But, you know, I also think that, like, they're an opportunity to cover movies we don't do on the main feed. Like, well, you were away for a moment tonight. Chris and I were talking about maybe we do that Christopher Lambert chess thriller. Night Moves, right?
That's fantastic.
Because that would make for a good Patreon episode, but not a main feed episode.
No, certainly not. So yeah, all kinds of goodies to get there for as low as $2 a month at patreon.com/grindbin.
Do you guys hear that ringing?
Oh,
Nope.
You know what? Block that call.
I think we're just going to let it rip.
Guys, I say we end this month. We just mingle here, and it's really weird that we recorded an entire episode sitting on the floor of a convention while people are just walking around us this whole
Oh,
time.
you ever been to a fucking Comic-Con?
Yeah.
There you go.
I mean, it's pretty normal. I have been slapping Grindbin stickers all around the Comic-Con.
Oh, well, perfect.
Yeah, got to get some
Is that
advertising out
Tanner
here.
walking over there?
Dude, he has a table here.
Holy shit. Let's go say hi to him, huh?
That's a good idea. Why don't we, fellas? Hey, Tanner!
talk to him. Let me talk to him. Mike, get me the fuck out of here. There's some guy in here that just hulked up and turned 15 feet tall. He looks like a Costanza Hulk. These prisons are weird, man.
Hey, Bobby, I got the money.
Dad, I made the team. But you're a hooker.
Get that goddamn thing out of your mouth.
Where's the knocker? I don't know. Spooky got no real rhythm.
No,